Well, well, well. The Cowboys are getting ready to play, I still say, the biggest game of their season. If the Cowboys beat the Detroit Lions, there is no way, unless the Cowboys lose focus, there is no way any team beats them after the Detroit Lions. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Yep. Y'all know what time it is. Can y'all believe we're about to see the Cowboys play again in less than 2 days? It's scheduled by the NFL. I love it. I love it. It is Cowboys friendly. Let's go. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy hitters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And yes, we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season, the rest of this season. Now let's talk facts. Today, the show. We listened to the Shotty presser. I mean, Shotty's always talking, so I guess it is what it is. Man, I don't remember Mike McCarthy talking this much. Maybe he did, I just don't remember. But today, we're going to listen to Brian Schottenheimer's press conference. We're going to listen to Jerry Jones' press conference. And we might see if we can sneak in Stephen Jones. And then we're going to look at a couple of things as it pertains to the game. I want to look at the power rankings and where they have the Cowboys in the power rankings. Man, where they have the Cowboys in the power rankings, it really tells you how good the Cowboys are playing. We're going to look at the power rankings, the playoff rankings, everything. And then we're going to look at the Cowboys versus the Lions, how they look. We're going to break all of that down. And also within that Cowboys versus the Lions, we're going to look at the Lions game last week against the Green Bay Packers and kind of see how they fared against the Green Bay Packers and see some of the things the Cowboys can do. And if we have time left, we're going to fit in some player interviews. So that's going to be the show for today. The Shotty presser, Jerry Jones, power rankings, Cowboys versus Lions, and the player interviews. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get us a quick roll call in. We're going to keep it going, and then we're going to get right into the Brian Schottenheimer interview. Dolores Ennis, what is going on? Good to see you. Greetings and Gwynny, what's going on with you? Mose Logan. Lynn from the 903, what up, Lynn? Bob's. Is that Bob's Clovers? Bob's Clovers, what's going on? The one, the only, the queen. What's going on with you? What's going on? Let's see. What does this say? Baba Tunde Shiner. I think that's what it says, something like that. What's up, Baba? He said, we are beating the Lions. I agree, it's gonna be a tough game. Jakira said, gee, what's going on? She said 47-17. It's the real estate vet. What's going on, real estate vet? Let's get it. Steve Rogers, he said, we gonna beat them Lions. Roy Clay, what's up? What's going on with you? Tony Rodriguez, blue blood up in this thing. Detroit is standing in our way. We're about to knock them down. Let's go. Richard Royster, what's going on? Lock and D, what's going on with you? Good to see you. Hey, Poobie D. Man, I got that top coming, man. I don't know why I saw that as a top and those were sweatpants. You and Dominique Pittman, I got tops. Man, y'all got a whole suit out of me. Y'all got a whole suit because of my mistake. So I got you. I got you coming real soon. William Harris, what's going on? Michael J. Cox, what's going on? Michael J. Cox, why not? Why not, Michael J. Cox? If the Denver Broncos can win 9 in a row, the Cowboys can win 8 in a row. What's going on? My brother wrote Raw T. Holman. Shakira said McCarthy didn't talk, he mumbled. What's up, Bobby? What's going on with you? It is Brendan Cup. What's going on, Brendan Cup? The way these guys talk, Shotty has built the team concept and brotherhood. He has. I'll give him credit. He's done a great job. It is Mr. 72 Chevelle. What's up? Lonnie Cabal. Hallelujah. Salute. What's going on with you, my brother? Philip Williams up in this thing. What is going on? Carl Williams. Lucky Fullwood. Dak owns. Who knows? But he said Dak owns. What is going on? He said hit that like button. Good to see you up in here today. Alicia Hamrick. What's going on? One more day. Don't be nervous. The Cowboys, they are going to do their thing. Joe Tranchino, what is going on with you? Yay Moore, Jesse Gardner, let's go. Michael Winston up in this thing. Good to see you today. More, that looks like that says More Eddie. What is going on, More Eddie? Good to see you. Yeah. Booby D, appreciate you always got my back. Yes, sir. Jesse Gardner, Chris, what's going on? Chris Kane up in this thing. Gwen Bowden, good to see you, Gwen. Happy Tuesday. Let's get this thing going. Appreciate y'all rocking with it today. And so let's get this thing started. Brian Schottenheimer. I listened to some of this today, and I don't know. You know, I just don't remember Mike McCarthy talking this much, and he probably did. He probably did. I just don't remember him talking this much. But nevertheless, Brian, I think if you heard him once, you've heard him a million times. I think he does a great job at the podium. I think that is one of his super strengths. He's very good at the podium, very transparent, very friendly. I like a lot of things I hear from him at the podium. Always says the right things, at least 99% of the time. So, like Brian Schottenheimer. So, let's check him out on DallasCowboys.com. See what he has to say today. And I guess what really is the most interesting, you know, in these interviews is what are they going to ask him today? That becomes the question. What are they going to ask him today? Let me see here. Yeah, what are they going to ask him today? All right, let's check out Brian Schottenheimer, focused on the grind. My man Ron Hanna up in here. What up, Ron Hanna? Good to see you, Ron Hanna. Yeah, Mose Luggan, they are missing some players. Man, hey, what did I tell y'all at the beginning of the season? Winning championships, it requires skill, it requires health, and it requires luck. I'm not feeling sorry for nobody. Do y'all know all four of the last three teams? They all have major injuries every time we play them. I'm not feeling sorry for them. We've had major injuries for 2 seasons now, and people were calling us trash, never taking into account the injuries. I'm not feeling sorry for anybody. I don't care what injuries they have. I want the Cowboys to take advantage of those injuries, take advantage of those backup players, and beat the brakes off those teams. I don't care if someone says the refs are giving us calls. I don't care what they say. Other teams have gotten those things. Whatever it is that we can get all the way to the bowl game, wherever we need to get, we take advantage of those things. We control what we can control and nothing else. It requires luck too to win championships. It does. It requires luck to win championships, man. I'm just telling you. It absolutely does. All right. Let's check out this man, Brian Schottenheimer, see what he's talking about today.
I think we'll go outside. It looks pretty out there.
What up, Chris Dunaway?
Get ready, man. We got to, close out strong when we go to the East Coast, baby.
That's right. Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. How much will Clowney do today? I know today's light practice, but I don't know if he'll do anything.
Yeah, we'll move him around, see where he's at. Again, he's doing everything in his power, but I think he'll probably be with Britt again today, and hopefully we'll get a chance to warm him up pregame and see how he does.
How's Guyton improving? Kind of think he's out of the boot, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's walking around better, which is good.
Appreciate you, Bobby's Hobbies Train Hunter. He said, "Gee, you are the man. Your show is as good as the games." Appreciate you. Appreciate you. What's up, Anthony Jefferson? He said, "Well, we had Cooper Rush as a starter last year. We still had to win. No excuses from the media." None, Anthony. None. Man, we were missing Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, you just name all the players we were missing in 2024. Dak Prescott. I mean, we were missing everybody. I don't care who nobody missing. Booby D said I would take two. Booby D, I'm going to have to agree with you on this. I am taking Diggs over Triquez Bridges. Yeah, I can't do man, Triquez Bridges, boy, oh, he need another year, man. He need another year. Let's roll. Let's keep rolling.
Doing a little bit more movement stuff. He's doing some stuff on the treadmill, things like that, underwater treadmill and whatnot. But he's making progress, all those guys. But, yeah, for this week, no.
The team has gone through a lot on and off the field the last couple of weeks. After Detroit, have you told your staff or your players to say, maybe we could take a breath a little bit?
What up, Gibby?
You never take a breath in this business this time of year, man. When it's December football and when it rolls around, you just stay focused on the grind. You love the grind. You hate the grind, but it's part of the deal. And, most important thing for me is, finish our prep for Detroit. It's going to be a very physical game. We have a play style that we're proud of.
No prisoners.
They certainly have an
Blue
established
blood.
play style as well. So, first things first, we want to play well Thursday night.
Brian Todd, aren't you?
Man, let me tell y'all something. As I was kind of thinking about this game and going through some of the things that we got to do, keys for the games and storylines, I've been really, really thinking about this real hard. Man, let me tell y'all something. The Cowboys, if there's ever a game that they are going to have to match energy, they're going to have to match energy. Dan Campbell, I promise y'all, Dan Campbell is going to have the Lions on fire. Dan Campbell understands the gravity of this game. Dan Campbell understands this is a make or break game for the Lions. I'm telling y'all now, we're going to know everything we need to know about this game on the first series of Cowboys let's say by the first quarter. We're going to know everything we need to know. Because I'm telling you now, the Cowboys are going to have to match energy. They cannot come out flat. Dan Campbell is one of those coaches. If there is ever a coach that feeds off of momentum, it's Dan Campbell. I'm telling you now, Dan Campbell is going to treat this like the Super Bowl. Dan Campbell is going to treat this like the Super Bowl. You watch what I tell you. He's going to treat this like the Super Bowl. He's going to have that team fired all the way up. If there is ever a game, Brian said there's a play style they want to play with. They want to be physical. Let me tell you something. They're going to have to be physical this game. I'm telling you, Dan Campbell, I guarantee you, he's got this team on edge right now. Even with the players they're missing, he's got this team on edge. I promise you. They're going to be ready to go. They're going to be ready to go. And the Cowboys can't come into this thing just like, okay, because I know Brian said something. I'm gonna let you hear him say what he says, then I'll comment on that part. But man, this gonna be one of them, y'all. This gonna be one of them. Y'all get ready. Boy, this is Rocky Balboa versus Apollo Creed, man. And I'm not talking about the first fight. I'm talking about the second fight. This gonna be a battle. I think it's gonna be really a battle. Jesse Gardner, I appreciate you. Said he loves the show. It's going to be a battle, guys. I'm telling you. Hey, I'm telling y'all now, we got to go get this one. Cause see, we were supposed to beat the Raiders. The Eagles, they didn't realize how much we had improved since the last time we saw them. Everybody thought the Kansas City Chiefs was going to beat us, and we beat them. We don't get to sneak up on nobody no more. We don't get to sneak up on nobody no more. Everybody know who we are now. They know who we are. We're not sneaking up on nobody no more. People are looking at this Cowboys defense, and in the last 3 weeks, it has been one of the better defenses out there, especially versus the run. We're not sneaking up on nobody. Richard Owens, what's going on? We're not sneaking up on nobody. We're gonna have to come get this. They're gonna be ready to play. I'm just telling you. Hey, Jakira, and that's what should really make us not make us nervous, but that should let us know, Jakira, what we're in for. The fact that Dan Campbell sounded scared, don't let him fool you. Now, Dan is gonna bring out his A game as much as of his A game as he can. John Jones, he said, "What up, G Money?" And I'm gonna tell you again, it's a New Jack City. What's going on? All right, let's listen to some more Brian Schottenheimer. He's gonna say something else I thought was very, very powerful.
ESPN with Trayvon, what have you seen in the 2 days from it?
Yeah, it's been great to have him back out there. Number one, I think he's doing a good job trying to shake off some of the rust and kind of just get back into it. And we'll see how today goes. And I know he wants to play and he's trying to play, and we'll see how today goes, and we'll make that decision as we get a little closer.
Now they're talking about Trayvon Diggs. I'm not sure Trayvon Diggs is playing. Every time I hear Brian Schottenheimer, I'm like, okay, is he playing or is he not playing? Maybe this is gamesmanship, but, maybe it's gamesmanship. They don't want to tip their hand. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't really know. I don't think anybody knows if Trayvon Diggs is playing. And one of the things I do think the Cowboys are doing, and at least I hope they're doing, it sounds like they're being real careful about bringing Diggs back. As in, don't bring him back too quick. Because somebody made a great suggestion last night. And I really do think this makes sense. I think maybe, you know what? I don't really think Diggs is going to help the Cowboys beat the Lions. I don't know how the Cowboys are looking at this. But I don't really think he's going to make or break if he plays. I don't think it makes or breaks the Cowboys. If I were the Cowboys, I would give him another week. And I would let him take that whole 10-day break that they got coming up after the Thursday night game. And then I would play him in the Vikings Sunday night game. That's where I would play him. Because I'm telling y'all now, if Diggs plays, this is going to be the ultimate test for Diggs. This will be the ultimate test for Diggs. Because this game is going to be severely physical. I'm telling us now, this game is physical. This is not a game for anybody that's got anything going on as far as being timid, somebody that don't want to tackle, somebody that's got some, when you hit that field, there are no excuses in this game, because I'm telling us now, the Lions are going to be physical. And I got news for us Dallas Cowboy fans, and this is why I'm saying this about Diggs. I mean, y'all already know where I am with this whole Diggs thing. But if the Cowboys love it, if the Cowboys love it or like it, I love it. If the Cowboys say he's ready, then I hope he's ready. If they say he's ready to go, then I want him to be ready to go. But I'm going to tell you what the Detroit Lions are going to do, because it makes sense. Y'all do know. The Lions already know they cannot run through the teeth of the Dallas Cowboys defense. Y'all do know they know this, right? There's a reason why they were trying to bring the center out of retirement, and he didn't pass the physical. He didn't pass the physical. they know they cannot run through the middle of the Cowboys defense. So you know where they're going to run the ball? They're going to try to run on the edges of the Cowboys defense. I would run on the edges of the Cowboys defense. And I would try my best to get my running backs to the edge to attack the Dallas Cowboys cornerbacks. I'd run right at Bland. I'd run right at Diggs. I'd run right at Savon Revel Jr. I'm running to the outside because I'm telling you, they're not going to be able to run in the middle, up the middle on the Cowboys. I don't believe they'll be able to do it. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the best teams in the league right now as it applies to the run game. Teams have not been successful. They have not been successful. And so at the end of the day, I'm telling you this. The cornerbacks for the Cowboys, this game, they're going to have to be physical. They're going to have to be physical. I'm just telling you what I would do. With those running backs of the Detroit Lions, I'm telling you what I would do. I would look at that Cowboys defense and go, okay, guys, we're not going to be able to run right at it. Let's see if we can run maybe some misdirections. Let's see if we can do some things like that. Okay, they like to come straight up the gut, so I know what I need to do. Okay, maybe I'm going to run some sweeps. Maybe I'm going to run some screen passes, but I'm going to try to attack the Cowboys on the edges because their middle is so solid. I can't do anything up the middle. Somebody mentioned this last night, and I just wonder if it would be a good idea to bring Diggs back against a team like the Minnesota Vikings rather than the Detroit Lions. Because at the end of the day, once he hits that field, there are no excuses. Nobody's going to hear any excuses. If he plays bad, everybody's going to have to accept it for what it is. There'll be no excuses. If he does great, there'll be no excuses. We'll be like, he did great. And if he does bad, it'll be he did bad. So the Cowboys, man, they're going to have to be ready on those edges. They're going to have to be ready on those edges, man, with this defense. Because I'm telling you, Detroit is going to bring their A game on defense. They're gonna bring their A game. I'm telling you. They're going to bring their A game on defense. And their goal is to, watch what I tell you. They're going to try to get the ball out of their hands quick. They're going to try to get the ball out of their hands quick. They're going to be missing Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're going to try to get the ball out of their hands quick. I won't be surprised if they're running screens. I'm telling you, they're going to be getting the ball. The goal will be to keep the ball out of the hands of Jared Goff. And they're going to try to get that play action going because it's going to be their only hope. And they're going to try to, because when you think about a team that likes to rush up the middle, what's the best way to stop them? Well, you're not going to run at them. You run away from the middle. You get them to start guessing. You get them to start running. You want to get that team running sideways rather than letting them run to their advantage up the middle. I'm telling you, it's a simple game plan if it's me. There is no way I'm coming to play the Cowboys and I think I'm going to run up the middle. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's futility. I have got to attack the edges of the Cowboys defense. Because as much as the Cowboys have improved, what is the one group that we say still needs work? The defensive line, superb. The tackles, we got an elite tackle. Edge rushers, they're good. They're good to great. Linebackers, Logan Wilson, Murray, Demarion Overshown, side to side, they're great. But what is the one place we still got questions? Cornerback. We still got questions at cornerback. And so I'm telling you, this is where Detroit is going to attack us. This is where I would attack us. All day long, this is where I would try to attack us. Getting to the edge of the Cowboys defense and putting those cornerbacks, putting them in pressure situations. Somebody made that suggestion last night. We'll see how it goes. But I think the Cowboys, I think they are being very careful. I think it sounds like they're being real smart. I don't know if it's gamesmanship or what. Shotty's saying one thing, Jerry's saying pretty much another one, but we'll see if he plays or not. But if he plays, I hope he's fantastic because he's going to need to be. Because if I'm the Lions, I'm just telling you what I would do. If I'm the Lions, the moment Diggs hit the field, I'm going vertical. I'm going vertical the moment I see Diggs on the field. Because if I watch tape on Diggs, that's what I'm doing. I know Diggs. I'm like, okay, Diggs got ball skills. Anything 15 and in front of him, Diggs got ball skills. So what am I going to do? I'm going to double move. I'll double move Diggs and see what he got. I'm telling you, man, if Detroit, if Dan Campbell got half a brain, the place he's going to try to attack the Cowboys, it is going to be in the secondary. That's where he's going to try to attack them all day long, whether it be from the run game or the passing game. Shotty's going to, man, I'm sure Shotty is going to have his team ready and understand all of this. But if you look at the Cowboys' last 3 games, and we're going to look at this as we keep going. As we look at the Cowboys' last 3 games, one of the things that we have to be very careful of is the Cowboys have started slow in these last 3 games. They're not going to be able to do that in this game. They got to come out knocking heads. Texas boy said, why are you talking about the Lions? They're down one good wide receiver. No, but they got another one. They got another one, Texas boy. They do have another wide receiver. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a blow. Now, again, Texas boy, Jameson Williams, let's understand this. They got a 2-headed monster at running back. The Detroit Lions can make up for this. Let's not pretend like the Dallas Cowboys didn't have CeeDee Lamb out for 3 games and George Pickens rose to the occasion. Other teams can do the same thing. The Detroit Lions got some players, man. They really do. Cowboys going to have their hands full. They got to come out of this thing and they got to come out blasting. They got to come out knocking because I'm telling you, Detroit is going to be knocking when they come out against the Cowboys.
I don't know if you've had a guy practice 1 week and then play. Should we look at past precedent here on some guys?
I think we're gonna be smart. I'm gonna listen to the trainers on this one. I'll look at the video. I've been watching the video, obviously, and I'm seeing how he's doing. But each situation is different, Todd. Like I say, and we'll be smart. I mean, that's why most ramp up periods take a little bit of time. But we'll see, and we'll make the right decision.
John Machota with The Athletic before practice, not yesterday, but the day before, you brought the guys up. After the stretching, or right before you guys started stretching, and it sounded like you were kind of fired up. How do you determine when you're going to do stuff like that?
Yeah, I trust my gut. There were a few things that I saw that just kind of made me want to have a little conversation with the boys, and so that's what I did. I called them up, had a little conversation, and they got the message, and we went and had a good practice.
I can take you back to when you got hired and got the job. Have you had to have more of those than you thought, or pretty much what you thought?
Okay, wait a minute. D-Hawk, what you saying here now? Wait a minute now. Help me out here. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So you said you was watching AOC earlier until I came on, and the Fed said hi G, and AOC was mad. He said, I'm not G, and the Fed said, oh, sorry. He said, but AOC, I like you both. G, the hate is real. Hey, he was probably just saying he not me. I'm not mad. I am not mad at all. I got respect for Cowboys content creators. Got a lot of respect for all of them. Yeah, like AOC, like a lot of the stuff AOC does. Yeah, AOC does his thing, man. He's built a great platform. Yeah, he's built a great platform. Hey, D-Hawk, man, he probably just said he wasn't me. I could totally understand that. No problem with me for not problem. No problem with me. I don't know if it's hate. He just said he ain't me. Yeah, it is what it is. Brady said, hold on a second. Yeah, Texas boy 1. Williams is the 1 wide receiver. He is going to be their number 1. But they do have another wide receiver. I'm going to look at it here in a moment. But they do have another wide receiver. Hey, he ain't no slouch. Yeah, he definitely is not a slouch. But, hey, Texas boy, again, I'm pretty sure what Dan Campbell is going to try and do, and we'll talk about this when we get to the game. I think what he's going to try and do, I think he's going to try to run the ball down the Cowboys' throat. Because they have a two-headed monster at running back. They have a two-headed monster, not a one. They have a two-headed monster. They got a power back and they got a speed back that can go to the crib on you. So, hey, Cowboys gonna have to come out knocking on the Lions for sure.
In terms of, having to get into the guys and stuff like that, because that doesn't seem like something that you would want to do all the time. It doesn't seem like that's your personality.
No, you don't want to do it all the time, but you have to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rico.
On that day of practice and training camp either, but they weren't doing their part and they weren't upholding the standard, so we stopped what we were doing and made them run. But these guys understand, that there's a job to do, and I'm always going to be honest with them. John, I'm always going to be, hey, this is a standard, and if I don't like the standard that's being put out there, then I'm gonna call them on it.
Nick Harris, 4-Star Telegram. Getting into December here, how much do you balance talking big picture with the guys versus, hey, game by game, but still kind of understanding what you guys have to do?
Yeah, I'm a game by game guy. Always have been, always will be. I just think it serves you the best, to do it that way because it's such a long season. It'd be different if you were playing 6 or 8 games, only. But when you're talking 17 games before the playoffs start, I think you have to take each day and each week by themselves. And the other thing that I believe in is I believe you really focus more on yourself. We talk more about ourselves than we talk about the opponent. I think, our best ability to perform well and win games is based on what we do and how we perform and how we execute, not what the opponent does. And we play really good opponents every week, but I just think it's an important part of the process. And then ultimately when we get to a Super Bowl, it's going to be no different. It's going to be Monday's a Monday and Tuesday's a Tuesdays. You got the 2 weeks and all that stuff. But, I think that's important that you build into these guys that, hey, we're going to take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. And why? Because your focus needs to be where your feet are.
And then you guys have had a lot of short weeks back to back and not a lot of time for self-scout in those short weeks. This upcoming, 10-day break, does it allow you guys to kind of bounce back and revert to some of the things that you all didn't get to in those short weeks?
Yeah, I think so. We're trying to stay on top of it. I think the one thing that you've seen, I think I've mentioned to you guys a little bit is, the big emphasis for us over these last couple short weeks has been tight plans, execution. Same thing comes down to us playing well, doing what we're supposed to do. And, but we will take a deep breath, to Calvin's point, and kind of look at ourselves over this span of 4 games in 17 days or whatever it is. And, there'll be a couple things that jump off the tape. The one thing that I do think this is a great thing, not a bad thing, but we've got a ton of room for improvement as well as we're playing, but we have to get better with the football. We're -5. We're 25th in the league. That sucks. And it's like, we got to fix that. And for us to go where we want to go, we got to take care of the football and we got to take it away. And I really do think this game's going to come down to that. I think this game, because you got 2 physical teams that play the right style, and whichever team, protects the football better, I think is going to win the game.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Kind of going off Nick's question, I know you focus on yourself, but when you have something that's having so much success, like George Pickens running slants, for example, how much of the game plan is anticipating via self-scout what another opponent might try to respond to something you're doing well?
Yeah, well, I'd say this, Joe. He's going to run slants in this game. Just put that there. So, hey, guys, Kelvin Shepard, he's going to run slants. That's part of the deal. But we definitely have compliments off slants. So, again, if they want to play him, they can. But I think it's really cool. I saw something where he was talking about the slants, and it was funny because I was listening to it last night. Somebody sent it to me. I was like, he didn't really tell him much. He told him a lot, but he didn't really tell him much. And that's what I love about GP. But, again, we have compliments for whatever we're doing. And the marriage part of what we do is important, whether it's run to pass, pass to run, whatever it is, formations. But again, I think that executing something that the defense knows is coming, I think is really cool.
And then we talked so much about all the additions and people coming back for the defense. I haven't really talked a lot about.
We're going to talk about this George Pickens slant. We're going to talk about this George Pickens slant when we get into our part of when we get into the pregame part of this, because this thing with the slant that George Pickens is running, it is an incredible mismatch. It is an incredible mismatch, and it puts a lot of teams at a disadvantage. And we're going to talk about that as we keep going. This thing with George Pickens, is incredible because it really puts the defense at a disadvantage because they don't know what the Cowboys are going to do. It is probably, if there is an unstoppable play, that play is it. And we're going to talk about it more as we get into our part of the game.
Lee Hooker and Donovan Wilson, from a communication standpoint, how important has their...
Yeah, Brandy, I'm with you. Yeah, AOC and me,
that's the
we
thing
real
everybody
cool.
talks about Quinnen because
we real
and
cool.
Logan show up and we start playing great defense. But the other thing, Demo comes back. All great things, right? All great things. But those two guys coming back, you can make an argument that that's as impressive and as important as anything because of the communication in the back half. So Flus calls the play to K9 or Logan, right? They're the green dot. They communicate that. But the guys making a lot of the adjustments are the safeties and sharing.
Have y'all not noticed how the Cowboys, they really like Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker? Have y'all not noticed this the whole season? They really like Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker. Even though they've struggled, we know full well those two safeties have not only struggled this season, we were talking about these safeties some last season too. But the Cowboys they absolutely love these safeties. They really do, man. And so, Brian, and they can tell me anything they want to. I don't mind them talking up these other players. But I really think the key to this thing has been Quinnen Williams. The same way George Pickens settled this offense down and really put it in its proper perspective, Quinnen Williams has also came in and put this defense in its proper perspective. So, no, I'm not buying this thing. I'm not buying this. I get the safety talk, but yeah, Cowboys. Quinnen Williams has been incredible, man.
That information. If you hear those guys both talk, man, they are loud. They are confident. They're not saying, "Hey, I kind of want to do this." Like they're making their calls and like they're putting everybody in the right spot. And without that, with as much motion and things we see, you're lost. So those two guys get a ton of credit for how well we're playing.
No, quit. I appreciate it. I understand what Brad Schottenheimer is saying. But I'm sorry, man. Quinnen Williams has put this thing in perspective, man. Quinnen has really helped this thing come to perspective. Demarion Overshown. Overshown has helped also. Savon Revel Jr. has been great. Logan Wilson has been good. He's helped. And for whatever reason, I don't know. But I guess they're saying Murray is playing better. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, Quinnen Williams is really what set this thing in order. Bruce, not Wayne, what up? Bruce, appreciate that $5 super chat. He said Dallas defensive backs are good. Please, no digs. Bruce, I'm telling you, there are so many different. I'm just trying to, and I'm not even going to worry or wonder about it anymore. I'm just going to put in my mind that somewhere the Cowboys think, and I know they think they're on a playoff run, and so to bring Diggs back with all of the other elements, because I think all of the elements I mentioned yesterday are part of it. But in the grand scheme of things, the Cowboys, maybe we're on a playoff run, and if Diggs can play, and if Diggs can be even 3/4 of what he was, the Cowboys are maybe saying that Diggs can help us on this playoff run. We'll see how it goes, Bruce. Because at this point, I didn't think he was going to hit the field again. If I would have been a betting man 2 weeks ago, I would have said Diggs is not going to hit the field again. So I'm surprised he's hitting the field. I'm really surprised just with all of the risk. I don't know what the contract risks are, but with all of the risk that you could possibly be taking, I just didn't think he was coming back. So he is coming back. So if he comes back, all I can do is pray and hope for the best. because I don't want Diggs to fail if he's out there on the field, because that means that the Cowboys probably got scored on if Diggs is out there failing. But I think I'll say the same thing I said about Diggs at the beginning of the season. I thought the magic number for Trayvon Diggs in the first game of the season against the Eagles, I'm thinking he was somewhere around 25 snaps. I think that's where they should keep Diggs for the rest of the season. Don't give Diggs a heavy load. If you're going to run, let's say you get a chance to run 65 plays, or let's say the defense gets 70 snaps, and 35 of those snaps are going to be pass plays, and just kind of looking at the situation. I wouldn't put him in on the base 4-3 because you're running zone. I wouldn't put him in on the base 4-3. But where I would put him in is where I know that we're going to run man-to-man. I know we're going to run a blitz. I know we're going to run man-to-man. There will not be a lot of time for the quarterback to throw the ball. Well, let me play him to his strengths. If he's a man-to-man corner, then when we run man-to-man, let's see what he does. But in my base 4-3, I'm not running Diggs. I wouldn't run him in my base 4-3. But I definitely would run him in those situations where we're running one-on-one, and I would keep his snap count to around 25. Keep him fresh, keep him healthy, and I think you'd be on to something. I definitely think you would be on to something. Because a part of this is saying, too, I don't think the Cowboys are wanting Savon Revel Jr. maybe to play as many snaps as he's played. Kalen Carson is having not one hamstring. This dude is having double hamstring issues. Kalen Carson, for what they're explaining, is having double hamstring issues. So maybe this is what it is. So if he comes back, I just hope Diggs plays well. Rodney Evans said, "Hey, Young G, what up?" Appreciate that super chat. Rodney, I don't think I've ever seen that before from a professional kicker, bro. This dude kicked the ground. That has to be the craziest field goal attempt I've seen. That is banana bonkers, man. That is banana bonkers. All right, let's listen to some more of Brian Schottenheimer, and then I'm going to come to the comments.
The status with the AP on Clowney, it's not unheard of for guys, 10-plus year guys to maybe work on the side and still play. Does it look like he might be able to do that, or is it looking more like he won't play?
Yeah, again, I agree with you. Veterans usually have the ability. They don't necessarily need to practice. We'll see how today works, but we're going to give him every opportunity to play in the game. He's playing at a great level, and if not, then we'll adjust. But he's earned the right to try to take this thing up as long as we can to game time. I know he wants to play. I've had good conversations with him, but a little different veteran than a young player, right, that they don't really need to practice as much.
You, I don't remember how many weeks ago it was, but there was after one game in particular, you said he looked different. I can't remember what game it was, but since then, have you seen even more of that? And obviously the 2 sacks last week, and if it is a little bit of a setback injury-wise, how disappointing is that with him kind of coming along the way he was?
Yeah, well, number one, I think the biggest thing I would say is I just love the way he plays. I think he's having a huge impact, Skyler, on the way really all the guys play, because a couple of the sacks, last week against Patrick and the Chiefs were like strain and effort and things like that. And I'll say this, I mean, just watching him interact with some of the young defensive linemen too, like the guy I speak to all the time, Ezraku Donovan, is so cool for me, because when I was with JD in Seattle, again, I wasn't the head coach, but I didn't see him investing in the guys like I see him now. And so I love that. And so I think that shows the maturing part of JD. And, I think that's great for our football team.
Tom Yarsh, DallasCowboys.com. Demos.
Boy, Tim and Terry got me rolling up in here. Tim and Terry, he said, "Gee, you sound like you trying to give the Lions a blueprint." No, Timmy. No, Timmy. I'm just trying to give him no blueprint. I'm just telling you, I'm pretty sure I know. Because I'm just saying, if I can know this, if I can see this, Timmy, I know they're probably saying the same thing. Tim, you got me laughing. Kippy, we're going to talk about this as we get over to our preview. He said they don't have elite wide receivers. Now, Kippy, this is where the Cowboys have got to be real careful, because I'm just thinking about if I'm the Detroit Lions. They're going to be down Amon-Ra St. Brown. Even if he plays, he will not be nowhere near. But I don't think he's going to play. So if I'm the Detroit Lions, I don't want to get in a shootout with the Cowboys, because I can't keep up with the Cowboys. The Cowboys have too many weapons for the Lions to try to get in a shootout, and Jared Goff ain't him. Patrick Mahomes is him. Jared Goff he's got a great cast, but Jared Goff ain't him. And especially without Amon-Ra St. Brown. So if I'm the Detroit Lions, you are exactly right. The key will be to stop Montgomery and Gibbs. Because I'm sure the Detroit Lions are going to try to win time of possession. And they're going to try to run the ball a tremendous amount of times. They're going to try to wear that Cowboys defense down. And then they're going to try to hit them with Jared Goff and the play action. Because the way you slow down a pass rush is being able to run the ball, getting some things on the outside, get them kind of thinking and hesitating, and then you can get that play action running, and it'll buy you an extra second. So that's exactly what they're going to be doing. So the Cowboys are going to have to stop that run. They are going to have to stop that run. And that's why I said the Cowboys got to come out head knocking, man. Cowboys got to come out head knocking. This is going to be a physical game. Boys got to come out head knocking. Brandon said, I'm thinking about Gibbs, but forgot about Montgomery. Yeah, Gibbs and Montgomery going to be, this is what they're going to give the Cowboys a full dose of. A full dose. That middle will be ready. I believe they'll be ready up the middle. Sunny days, yes, need to start strong. We're going to talk about this in our preview. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. Boy, Texas boy, say it. I'm going to be talking about this in the preview. Texas boy, we on the same, hey, me and you, same place. I got all this in my game preview. They got to be ready for Dan Campbell. He going to be throwing tricks and everything, man. He going to be throwing tricks and everything. Kippy, yeah, I agree he can't take over a game. But while he can't take over a game, but if they get that run game working, they'll be able to get some shots. Cowboys got to be ready. Shoot, Timmy Terry, hey, I ain't going. I can't help but agree with you. Shoot, yeah, I trust Diggs more than Triquez Bridges. Man, I'm telling you, when Triquez Bridges was on the man, I'm telling you, he still need to turn his location off. Man, Sean Payton had that man location on his phone. Everywhere Triquez Bridges was, that's where Sean Payton had Bo Nix going. Shoot. Yeah, Triquez Bridges struggled bad, man. I really wish the Cowboys would bring up Josh Butler. I wonder what's going on with that. Josh Butler said he ready to go too. Let me read Lynn. Lynn, you said something here is ready. I like it. Lynn said, I like the way Shotty is coaching, keeping the team motivated and focused. When he sees that they are not, he lets them know. Sounds a lot like Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, I like it, Lynn. I agree, Lynn. No doubt about it. I agree.
Been kind of playing more and more the last 3 games. What have you seen from him in those, and just how he's physically holding up? And do you want to continue to get him more as we go along? Or I think 42 was his number last week. Is that kind of a comfortable range for him?
Brand, I just said the same thing about Butler.
Obviously, the short weeks change a lot of things, and they adjust your numbers. And I really do lean on the training staff for that. But what I would say that I've seen is his eyes have gotten way better. You know, you're sitting there and you're watching on the side, and you're like, okay, I see this. Okay, it's closed right. Okay, we're going to willy this. We're going to do that. But until you're out there doing it with full speed action, his eyes from the first game action against Vegas to last game were way cleaner. And I think that's a big part of it. But I do think that we'd like to play them a little bit more than that. But again, the numbers will be based on the fact that we've had to play 4 games in 17 days.
And then eye discipline was something that you talked about a lot for wanting to see this group improving. From a broad perspective with everybody, how do you feel like they've done since the
Kevin
bye?
Edwards, what
And
up?
how do you feel like they need to do in this game against a team that has a lot of yards after catch and things like that?
Yeah. So number one, the first answer is so much better. But it starts with the communication. But yes, they're seeing less now, which is good. They're reading their keys better, their triangle better, which is good. In this game is going to be very important because of a number of things. They do a ton of shifts and motions, which we do the same. So they're going to challenge your eyes. They're going to challenge your changing of strength and moving a front and doing all those things. Like, that's not easy. It sounds like it's easy, and in a classroom it is easy, but the tempo that you do it at is challenging. And then the speed that they have. They've got a lot of elite speed, and so if you're out of a gap or if you do have bad eyes, they've got guys that can penalize you in Gibbs and Jameson Williams and St. Brown and guys like that. And Jared, of course, is such a great quarterback. But we've gotten way better, but we're going to have to play with great eyes in this game for sure.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Brian, CD said the Lions play a unique kind of handsy style of man coverage. What's that like, game planning against a team that does play so aggressively in the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I mean, I really respect them. I respect, what Coach Shepard and his staff do and the way they play. Like, they don't care. I mean, they just get up there and they play press man to man, and they don't look at the jersey numbers and say, oh, that's 88 CeeDee Lamb or that's George Pickens. They don't care. Justin Jefferson doesn't matter. They're aggressive with their hands. They play a physical style that I love, and we're going to be challenged. And I think our guys are excited about that challenge, and they're looking forward to it. But, the whole team plays a certain way, and that's that physical, intense, through the whistle mentality, and that starts with Dan.
And when you see that type of defense, does that you as a play caller look to maybe take more shots, knowing that they're kind of gambling a little bit more up front of the line of scrimmage?
We always, we'll always look for our shot opportunities, but I think you don't want to force them. I will say this: on film, I see a lot of what I call long foul balls, which means people taking shots and they're going incomplete, and that puts you in second and long. And when you play this defense in second and long, Hutchinson comes alive even more than he already does. What an elite player, and their blitz packages come alive even more. But we'll take our shots.
I gotta give Brian Schottenheimer credit. I said this about Brian Schottenheimer a few weeks ago. Y'all tell me if y'all agree. But Brian Schottenheimer is starting to get a little sneaky cocky. And I like it. I like it. Hey, he's won 3 games in a row. He's starting to get a little cocky. You can tell the way he's talking. He's very confident in his players. And I'm going to tell you what I think really got him here. Quinnen Williams, Logan Wilson, Overshown, Savon Revel Jr. stopping the run over the last 3 games, winning against 3 opponents in a row. It's got his confidence level, and it's bleeding onto the team. This team is you can look and see by their body language, their demeanor. When we were watching Sounds from the Sideline against the Kansas City Chiefs, there was not a moment that I was on, even in the Philadelphia Eagles, Sounds from the Sideline. You couldn't detect a moment where that team felt like they were going to lose. It's like they knew they were going to win. Man, that's a great mindset to have. That is a great mindset to have. Brian, I think he's feeling himself in the right way. Hey, that's good. Be cocky. Jimmy was cocky. Just make sure it translates on the field. Man, cocky is good when you can translate it on the field, because I think this is one of the things why Ben Johnson's going to win Coach of the Year. Brian Schottenheimer is going to be probably the runner-up, depending on what happens by the end of this season. It's going to be close. If the Cowboys win out, it's going to be close. If the Cowboys win out, man, it's going to be close. Brian might edge him out if they went out and make the playoffs, win the division and make the playoffs. He might edge out Ben. Ben is very cocky, and it shows. He's very confident. Brian is that humble cocky, and it's starting to show. And it's also starting to show in the team. I like the way he's doing this thing. I like it. Joseph 7961, welcome to the chat. Joseph said Gibbs is running for 180 yards. Man, Gibbs ain't running for no 180 yards. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, Joseph. All right, let's listen to this thing with Shotty.
It's the 50th anniversary of the Hail Mary coming up here soon. As a historian, what did you know about it, and what have you learned about it more since being here?
Yeah, I am. I remember Alcoa Presents, fantastic finishes. I remember seeing that. The old people in the room get it. Garrett's like, what the hell is he talking about? Yeah, it was really cool. Check it out. So I do remember that, and it's really cool. I love to walk over here, sometimes, and they have actually the spot where, Roger threw the ball and where Drew caught it, and it's just one of the most memorable plays. And then every time I walk up and down the steps here, there's the time stamp where they show the progression of it all. But just, it was just such an incredible play, and I love that stuff. And you talk about not just incredible play, but two incredible players and two incredible people. And so I think it's awesome that it's being celebrated.
How was that? There was no such thing as a Hail Mary play, right? How has that evolved now to where you guys have like the front tip guys here, the back guys like?
Look at you go, man.
Okay. Dak said it yesterday.
Yeah, okay, there you go. I was gonna say, look at you. I mean, you're the guy with the cameras. You and Hard Knocks. You guys got the cameras in the meetings. Yeah. How's it changed? Yeah, we coach it probably different than they did. I've never talked to Roger or Drew about it. I actually probably should. That's really cool. Was it just one of those deals go long and hey, I'll throw it out there? But yeah, we do. We have specific landmarks and who's your front tip guy, who's the jumper, and he has jobs, and who are your back tip guys and where they're supposed to be. And you've got multiple ways of doing it. You can do it outside the numbers or in between the hashes. And so I would say, like most things, it's much more. Because it's won and lost a lot of games in this league. We all coach it a little bit better, and we spend more time on it.
And then obviously when the Dez catch, it was a Dez catch and it wasn't a catch.
No, it was a catch.
Okay, so Drew didn't push off either then, right?
Probably didn't, yeah. Really, you're going to do that to me right now? I mean, I'm getting ready to go to practice, man. No, great job, Drew. It's called forearm flipper. It's not a push-off. It's called forearm flipper.
All right, thanks, guys.
Good. Thanks, guys. See you guys out there.
Hey, man. However you can get it, get it. All right, Rodney Evans, I appreciate that $4.99 super chat. Hey, Bruce, let me tell you something, man. The Philadelphia Eagles are collapsing right now, man. Bruce said Lions fans gonna cry just like the Eagles. Bruce, I'm telling us right now, if the Lions lose against the Cowboys, they will not, this is a point of no return for them. The Lions are collapsing. Dan Campbell has already taken the plays away from the offensive coordinator. They've lost 3 of the last 5 games. They lose this game against the Cowboys. That'll be 4 of the last 6. There will be no hopes for the playoffs for them. And they will be cooked. They'll be done. Guys, I'm telling y'all right now, if Dan Campbell don't turn it around, I think we're watching the beginning of the end for Dan Campbell. They'll give him next season, but he's got to turn this thing back around. And I'm telling y'all what happened to the Lions. The Lions missed their window of opportunity. The Lions were a juggernaut last year. They were a juggernaut. I'm telling us that they not got defensive injuries. I think the Super Bowl is different. I don't think Philly goes. I think it's Detroit. Detroit was beating teams down to the socks. That's how bad. I mean, we do realize we were one of them teams. The Detroit Lions, before they got defensive injuries, they were beating teams down to the socks, man. They were beating them down to the socks. Then Jared Goff comes out there in the playoff game and sells them. It wasn't even necessarily bad defensive play. Jared Goff sold them. Multiple interceptions, unforced. They missed a window of opportunity. Man, them windows, when those windows, and a lot of people don't realize, for example, the Cowboys, 2023 wasn't a window for the Cowboys. We were fooling ourselves. We couldn't stop the run going into that playoff game. We only had one wide receiver going into that playoff game. We were not a great running team going into that playoff game. We went into a playoff game basically saying, we're going to win a playoff game off the arm of Dak Prescott and the catching of CeeDee Lamb. Man, it's hard to beat any team like that. Now, this year's Dallas Cowboys team, they get in the playoffs, everybody's scared because they're too dangerous offensively. The Cowboys are not only dangerous offensively, they're dangerous defensively. This year is different if the Cowboys go to the playoffs. Nobody will want to see the Cowboys in the playoffs. Home or road, they will not want to see the Cowboys. They're just way too electric. The coaching, they're focused way more. They just have way too much talent. Way too much talent. But that 2023 team was fool's gold. But the Detroit Lions last year, they literally had three head coaches. The head coach, Ben Johnson, was already ready to be a head coach. Aaron Glenn, now a head coach. That team was fantastic. It's hard to win when they come and poach your coaches. When they poach your coaches, that should be after a championship, not before. The Lions have missed their window of opportunity. And Bruce, I'm telling you, boy, you think the Eagles are collapsing. They are throwing eggs at the offensive coordinator. They attacked the offensive coordinator with eggs for the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, Detroit mess around and lose this game to the Cowboys. They're going to be calling for Dan Campbell's job. Because I already think it's desperation when you take the play calling away from the offensive coordinator. That's desperation to me. That's desperation. The Lions are in a desperate situation right now, guys. I'm telling y'all they in a desperate situation. I think the Cowboys can break them. I think the Cowboys can break them. I do. I think the Cowboys are going to break them. Cowboys beat the Detroit Lions. They're broken. It's over. Season over. They are broken. They will continue to go on a downward. They will continue to go on a downward spiral. They will. Texas boy, we're gonna cut Diggs some slack. I'm with you. Maybe he'll be good with this pass rush because he can keep everything in front of him. He can keep everything in front of him. I still say if they go deep, it's going to be a problem. But if he can keep everything in front of him, Cowboys can keep that pass rush. Hey, I've said this before. Diggs still got ball skills. There's no doubt about it. Diggs got ball skills. We saw him in that Green Bay game. Man, he broke on that thing. Diggs is a corner that likes to take chances. And if he can get there, and if the Cowboys can get them in situations to where they want to hear him get the ball out of their hands, Diggs might be able to thrive in that. Yeah, let me read here. This is a great comment. Mac Mann said they finally bought into the system. He said, when you bring in vets like Q and Logan and they buy in right away, that is enormous for the rest of the unit. I agree. Kevin Edwards, speaking of Jerry Jones, I agree with this. I do think a part of this is Jerry Jones saying, I want Diggs out there. We're paying him. I'm not mad at him. I mean, they're paying him. Jerry is saying, I want Diggs out there. I don't care what anybody. Jerry said, I want some money. I want some return on my investment. I don't blame him. Just make sure he doesn't hurt the team. As long as he doesn't hurt the team, it's all good. It is all good as long as you make sure that he doesn't hurt the team. So, yeah, Kevin Edwards, I do believe what you're saying. It is a part of why Diggs is playing. All right, let's see here. Having a little trouble pulling this video up. Let's try to pull it up again here. All right, let's see. All right, let me read a couple comments while I'm trying to get this video to pull up. Mose Logan said, I run slates all day long with GP3 on Madden. Slats all day long with GP3 on Madden. It's unstoppable. I don't know if y'all saw the video I did on this. I'm gonna pull it up during this live stream. Michael Irvin talked about this. And when Michael Irvin explains this thing about George Pickens, you'll see why it makes so much sense that play the Cowboys are running. People do not understand. That play is actually unstoppable. That play that they are running is literally unstoppable. And that is crazy when you think about it. And it opens up so many things for this Dallas Cowboys offense. It opens up so many things. And it's crazy because it's such a simple play. But I told you before, man, great players, they make simple plays. They make them look great. They make them look like genius plays. They make them look genius. Cowboys figured out something. They figured out something simple. George Pickens is unstoppable on slants. And I'm going to let Michael Irvin explain it to you because I think he can explain it to you better. All right, let's see here. It's saying something about this video is unavailable. Let me go to 105.3 The Fan. Then if not, okay, we'll just listen to Steven. We'll listen to Steven and we'll skip Jerry today if we need to. Let's see here. I do think YouTube has been having some issues with this lately with these videos. All right, that one did play. All right, hold on a second.
Good morning, Jerry. How are you?
Well, doing great and good to be on, guys. Beautiful day today.
So, Jerry, I saw a picture of you guys celebrating Thanksgiving. Saw a little bit of it in the Netflix special. Inside the cabin or wherever you go, and how much family you get together, and like what type of is it a weekend? Is it 3 days? Where do you guys, without particulars, so we don't want to give away too much.
Hello. Well, it started many years ago, actually way back before the Cowboys, and I had so many of the people that were you might see on Netflix were little small. But we would go to this hunting area that I had in Arkansas, deep in the woods of South Arkansas. And my entire family on my mother and dad's side.
All right, if y'all don't mind, I'm going to skip over Jerry's story time.
This past week, Jerry, with a lot of our fan comments, it has been Jerry GM credit and praise. We did a possible Executive of the Year segment about an hour ago with Quinnen and George Pickens.
See, I said this what? Yesterday, 2 days ago? I'm telling y'all, man, we're going to be having a conversation at the end of this year. Y'all don't be shocked if Jerry Jones wins Executive of the Year. Don't be surprised he wins GM of the Year. I can see it. He has been responsible for 3 of the biggest trades in the game. Pickens, Michael Parsons, 2 first-round picks, and Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams. And you can throw Logan Wilson on with a partridge in a pear tree. Jerry Jones been wheeling and dealing. Pickens and Quentin Williams is probably the two biggest trades. They have made the biggest impact on any team out there. I mean, even Michael Parsons, as good as he is, he has not made the impact on the Packers because they had the same record last year that they have right now. The record was pretty much similar. But the Cowboys, what they're doing right now and the turnaround that happened with Quentin and the turnaround offensively with George Pickens, man, that's incredible. Literally, that's incredible.
And Jadeveon Clowney. So we just wanted to start off relaying that a lot of the Cowboy fans on our station, on our show over the past week, are giving you a ton of GM credit, even though there's a long way to go.
I forgot about Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, thank you, and I do because if it's going to work, it's going to pay off in wins, and we all know that, and I understand that, and I understand criticism when we don't get it done in terms of winning the ball games. But I really am pleased with.
Rodney said, he said, gee, I don't know who's worse. He said the 76 Buccaneers or the Giants. That was terrible last night. Hey, man, let me tell you something, Rodney. Man, a lot of these Monday night games have been trash. A lot of the Monday night games have been trash. I'm telling us. They've been trash, and some of the Thursday night games have been trash. But, man, it seemed like them Monday night games to me, man, wasn't that a Monday night game between the Raiders and the Broncos? Man, they both deserve a loss for that game. It was so bad.
How this team has come together over these last 2 or 3 weeks, and you always think you have that potential or you wouldn't have made those decisions to begin with. And we really have strengthened our fronts over the last couple of years. We look different. We're bigger. We're bigger on the front on defense, bigger on the front on offense. That was very deliberate. One of the things that I saw 2 or 3 years ago was when we get in these playoffs, they run over us.
Yeah.
And we need to get bigger up front. And so start with that right there. And really we had that in mind on that trade with Micah that we made to start the year to be frivolous, not frivolous, but to just be tried almost. But that was an effort to go get and use that currency, if you will, draft picks and cap room. Cap room just as important as the draft pick. And use that cap room to put players on the team that we wouldn't have been able to get had we committed that money to one player.
Jerry, in terms of jump-starting your football team, this has felt a lot like the Quentin Williams trade, like the Amari Cooper trade that you guys made in 2018, where you guys kind of sparked and went on a run. Have you viewed that impact sort of similarly, that Quentin's had that same sort of impact that Amari did in 2018?
Well, yes, and as it turns out, but the answer is yes. Certainly, Amari did give us a. But the distinguishing thing, and I said earlier, I tried to make the trade by giving Micah, by trading Micah to the Jets and getting Quentin and a number one coming back to us. I didn't offer to trade it heads up, and that's what I wanted in training camp, and we couldn't get that done. But in my mind, Quentin is not only just what you want in the middle, and really what you want for run, and frankly, see, he puts pressure there, run and pass. But the most important thing is his football character, and it's outstanding now. It's off the charts. And that combination is rare, very rare. And so you see that bringing it to the table. He's contagious in there as far as inspiring other players to play. When you've got that football character on top of outstanding football talent, and you're a big boy, that is rare. And so that's what we're benefiting from.
Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys general manager and owner, joining us here on 105 through the Fan. You made reference there to, other guys kind of playing better as well. One of the guys who seems to have really exploded onto the scene in the last couple weeks is Oso Odigizua as well. And, Kenny Clark's played better. Is that one of the other benefits you feel like you've had here? It's not just that you added Quinnen Williams, but it feels like you almost added new players with the way that those guys have been performing.
Well, if you look at those guys, and of course, Oso could play further out if we wanted him to play further out, but his unique position is his quickness inside there complements what Williams, complements what Kenny Clark brings. All three of those players have, again, tremendous football character. And we knew that when we extended Osa last year. And, I think this year, but again this year. But we knew that, and we knew we wanted him around for a long time. His quickness is kind of more of a gap player, whereas Kenny and Clinton are mostly can play it either way, really, both of them. When you line those three up in there, and you've got them either in rotation or you've got them in there together, you really create a dominant feature to our team. And the combination of all of them, while someone asked, well, you're not going to be able to keep them all three, that's not right. We can, and we can build from that. And, of course, number 41, and, of course, County's playing off the charts, County. And we're getting a lot of really big play out of Sam Williams right now. So I'm going to leave somebody.
Sam Williams is much improved. No doubt about it. Sam Williams, man, he deserves some credit because this dude was making some boneheaded plays in the first half of the season. But he has been great since that Arizona game especially. Sam Williams has been playing well. But y'all just heard Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones said, obviously, he don't know what people are talking about because they can, and it doesn't sound like only they can. It sounds like they will. They are going to keep all three of these defensive tackles. And I'll be honest with you, I think it would be crazy for them not to. I think it would be crazy for the Cowboys not to keep all three of these defensive tackles. I think it would be crazy for them to not bring back Jadeveon Clowney. I could pretty much Dante Fowler, I think the Cowboys can go in the draft and replace him. Sam Williams, I'm not sure where they are with Sam Williams, but they drafted him, and I know the Cowboys like the players that they drafted, but they have got to keep those three defensive tackles. They got to keep Clowney. I also say they need to keep James Houston and build on that. And build on that. I love this part Jerry Jones said. Keep all three of those defensive tackles. Jerry said that ain't right. We can do it.
Out here, but they just bring opportunity to the other parts of the team. But that combination in there, when you want to look at the Dallas Cowboys today, it wasn't here when we started the season.
Yeah.
But when you bring it in there today, it's very unique.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, when you look at, you mentioned Clowney there, and I'm glad you did it. He's had such a big impact for you guys as somebody who was brought in later in the process. Can you just talk about it? A, the impact that Jadeveon Clowney's made, and then B, he missed practice yesterday with a hamstring injury. What are the prospects for him being available on Thursday?
Well, I look to him to be available this short week. Not short week, but really not a short week for us. But we don't have many days left for him to be out there. Planning on him playing, but that's not a given. You have to. This truly is warm them up out there before the game on Thursday, and if they can play, then you'll make them active. But Connie, I think, had 1.5, 2 sacks, something like that, in the ball game the other day. But Connie's came in as the number 1 pick in the draft, as you all know, and has maintained a level of playing all of the years that he's been here. And he has had 2 games back-to-back that really are very noteworthy. And so between him and 41, between those two, we have really started some outside pressure, along with Sam's relentless pressure, running. Sam's a lot like Lawrence in terms of he just will run all over that place and never quit. So bottom line is I like what we're getting from the outside, and I really like it, what we're capable of doing when the machinations let us have potential 5 people up there. We get 5 people up there. That's hard to block.
Jerry Jones, brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers here on Sean and RJ 105.3 The Fan. Jerry, everyone is viewing Thursday night as another heavyweight fight, but the Lions have not been as invincible as they've been in past years. What are you seeing that's different about this year's Lions team?
I can't get that 40 points they hung on us last year out of my mind right out here at home. And that hook and lateral they did back there on that one pass play that just was just embarrassing, really. And so I can't get that out of my mind. But listen, I give them all the respect that they've earned over the last 2 or 3 years, and they've got a great running back. And so, and their quarterback, we need to pressure him. And that's cliche almost. But I think they're at home, and plus they're playing with a real urgency because they're looking at needing to get these last games to be ready for the playoffs, and that was their aspirations. Not a given, but certainly they thought they were going to have that maybe better than they've had it. So I look for them to be as every bit the challenge these last 2 games have been for us.
And, Jerry, you touched on what the next question was going to be. That was 47-9 on your birthday, and it felt like they went a little out of their way to get to that 47. Will revenge be on your mind a little bit? And even if not, when is the last time that you had kind of a revenge game in your mind to where, hey, if we can stick it to them, let's do it? How often does that happen?
Well, we have it when we play these people in our division. Playing Philadelphia is really that way, and candidly, the Giants and Washington are too, and we're fortunate to really have them. We did in college. Our rivalry at Arkansas was Texas, and that was not it, but it was it. But that adds to it. That's my town against your town. I've seen these old timers, 70 years old, saying, "Boy, remember back in '62? Remember such and such? He was playing the end, and they're sitting there talking about, we got you good that year. Yeah, you did, but we kicked y'all's butt the next year." That to me is something you can't replace about American football. My town against your town, and Detroit let us do that a little bit. Had that feeling because of that kicking they put on us last year.
Jerry, we're all trying to speculate and figure out a way into this postseason, and you've been honest with us about kind of scoreboard watching. Right now, do you think that your best opportunity is wild card with how loaded it is in the NFC, or do you think this thing would have to get done by winning the division?
Win the division.
Well, sometimes when you know that it's hard to figure, that's when you just have to put your head down and say, "Listen, I can't get this rationalized or coordinated in my mind. So we're just going to go out here and win these ball games. Then it can happen. Then it can happen for you. This happens. Teams lose. I was just looking 2023, how Philadelphia dropped their last 7 in a row. Mm-hmm. And that was in between Super Bowl appearances, I think. So bottom line is these things get off kilter. I'm talking about teams. Things quit clicking that were clicking. And, boy, you can and that momentum, get to believing. All the players, teams go get better just because of what's out in front of them, and teams do drop off. our best shot, I think, is to win the division.
Yep.
Jerry, we knew there were so many different changes that occurred during the offseason with, head coach and some different things with defensive coordinator, scheme, personnel, all those sort of things. So this was going to be kind of a period of change. Can you look at this season and come away with it saying it was a success or it was a positive without making the postseason, or is a postseason berth required for you to say, yeah, that was a good season for us to build on?
Let us finish.
I think we need the season berth. We do need to get in the playoffs. But we made the decision that created most of the decisions we made this year when we extended Dak last year. Because at that particular time, we needed to sit down and put a plan in place over the next 4 years. That's when we signed Dak. And put a plan in place that could get it while Dak was sitting here in his prime, healthy. We got a setback that first year when Dak got hurt. But the bottom line is that that's when that was put in place. And we knew we had to make some of these changes. I may or may not. Mike and I, Mike McCarthy, we sat down. I was on the fence about whether we make a change there or not. And Mike and I worked through that and ended up making a change. That was one that wasn't quite that apparent when that season began or even when that season was over. But Shotty came through the process and really gave us an opportunity. Now, I knew right there that change there, but mainly the change of the staff, that was going to present some problems. Always you have things to work on apart from just personnel. The good news, Shotty knew the personnel, and he was comfortable with the personnel, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But he knew our defensive personnel. And we all shared the same thing. We needed to do some of the things that we're doing, moving the personnel in and out. The biggest thing is, though, we've changed these defensive coordinators relative to the defense. Now, that's a challenge. You go out there and you get you a new boss on defense 3 years in a row, and you're going to look you're going to have problems when you first start the early part of the season. We had them with Zimmer. We got better as it went along. And, of course, we had them this year with Flus. We got better as we've gone along. But the good news is the players, the coaches match up. We've had crisis. We've come through and had some positive things happen in crisis. You couldn't have asked for a better way for a new staff to meld and get in and start working together for the longer haul. So I'm excited about what we've done, how we have evolved, and it would be a fairy tale, not total fairy tale, but it would be wonderful to pull this thing out, get in those playoffs, and have this staff make a run at it. We've got the personnel that we can compete like that.
Jerry, you mentioned there that it was a tough thing early on for the defense to adjust. One of the guys who seemed to have a tough time adjusting early on was Trayvon Diggs, and he talked about, he would talk publicly, say, I want to be in more man coverage. We need to play more man, and he was having some difficulties with the adjustment. He is expected to be back this week. Is it fair to say that Trayvon Diggs has to earn back your trust a little bit when he returns to the field?
We know Trayvon Diggs. We really know him, and know his pluses. And like anybody, he's got things positions that he doesn't do as well. But we know Trayvon Diggs, and Trayvon, if he practices good, and he can practice good, he'll play good. And Trayvon is a natural ball hawk. And so what you get from Trayvon is you get real respect from the opposing team about going toward him. And that's a plus to have him out there and have that kind of respect. They're conscious of the fact that he'll play that ball like that. But I saw him early this year make 3 different tackles that I hadn't seen him make in his career. I mean, physical tackles.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, where'd that come from? So this year, I've seen him do some things that are really promising for his return back for us. And I hope he's able to go. We'll see how this week's practice go. And if it goes like we would draw it up, then you could see him out there.
Jerry, how much better is he doing physically? We were trying to figure out whether the IR, how much of that was about concussion, how much of that was about the knee, and how much of that was about maybe you guys moving on. How do you compare his health from about a month ago to what it is today?
Well, Dr. Jones here, and I qualify my answer because we all know the extent that I'm medically proficient, but bottom line is, it was about his ability to play football, his knee, not as much about concussion at all, not about as much about his home accident. It was mainly about his knees, and he's had those have been they were an issue going into training camp because we had hoped that they'd be in better shape as he got back from his time off in the spring season, off season. Bottom line is, he's back now. It's what it is. What it is what it is. And he's back. He won't be on that field unless he's really capable of being Trevon Diggs as far as his real skill levels, the way we are today as opposed to when last time he was on the field. We're executing better around Trevon. And so everybody's adhering to their responsibility. That'll put emphasis on him initially being responsible for his responsibility, if I can say it that way. And that will help us. Everybody has to have first, they've got to take care of their first responsibility. When that doesn't happen, it's got a good chance of breaking down on that play. So I think we can get that out of him. When he's on, he's an absolute menace to the opposing offense. They know it. So you gain from that standpoint. So I'm excited to have him back.
Jerry, last one for you. We noticed against Kansas City that Pickens was not out there for the first two plays. Is there anything to that?
Well, as far as if he, he was not out there the first two plays, and but as far as I'm getting your question implied, is there anything wrong with him, or is there anything that issue off the field? The answer is no, absolutely not. So I wouldn't make anything of that at all. Nothing of that.
Jerry,
and I'm not being defensive.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Jerry, thank you so much for the time. We cannot wait for Thursday night. We'll hear you again on Friday. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good interview about Jerry Jones. I'm not. Let me read these two super chats before I say. Let me think before I talk. Star Garden X said, "Gee, what do you think about the running back we signed? That is Israel Abenaconda. Let me see. That is Israel Abenaconda. We'll talk about him in a moment. I'll talk about him in a moment. Star Garden X. Bruce said golf needs to be. Appreciate that super chat. Star Garden X. Same thing from you, Bruce, not Wayne. Golf needs to be the cream in an Oreo sandwich. Yeah, I think they're going to have him running for his life. I think the Cowboys will have him running for his life. I can buy some of what Jerry said. I'm not buying the whole part about Trevon Diggs is a menace. I'm not buying. Come on, Jerry. But I'm going to give you credit. I'm going to give Jerry credit, man. Jerry is talking him up. And that's what he should be doing. Jerry is talking Diggs up. And he should be talking him up, especially if he has any hopes of trying to trade Diggs after the season is over with And number two, man, if Diggs can play, well, let's see what he can do. I noticed that Jerry is saying that with everything better around him, they're hoping that Diggs will be better. But I said this at the beginning of the season when Diggs was playing, and I think this is one of the mistakes they made with Diggs, because I noticed that in the article we read the other day is that Diggs said that after the second game, I think he said after the second game, he started noticing swelling in his knees. Well, look at what happened in the first game. The Cowboys played Trayvon Diggs 27 snaps. I thought that was the perfect number. And I think the Cowboys should go back to this. Jerry also said, I'm just kind of reading the tea leaves. He said, we know what Diggs can do. When they brought up that Diggs said the Cowboys need to play more man. So it sounds like exactly what I was saying in the beginning. If I'm the Cowboys, I am not playing Diggs in 4-3 base. I'm not playing him in anything zone. What I am going to play him in is I'm going to play him in blitzing situations, because I know the quarterback is going to have to get the ball out of his hand when we blitz. So I'm not worried about a team making Trayvon Diggs backpedal, turn, and run, because that's probably going to be a struggle for Diggs for the whole season, coming off of the type of injury he's coming off of. Anytime you come off those knee injuries, those are the things that you're going to struggle with. Straight, running straight forward or backwards. Those aren't the things that really get you. It's the change of direction. That's what gets you with those knees. So the Cowboys, I mean, it sounds like Jerry is saying they know what he is. So it sounds like they're going to use him in man situations, and hoping that with that blitz, a quick throw, he's got ball skills. I've said that over and over. He's got ball skills. 15 yards in front of him, Diggs can be dangerous. But I'm telling us right now, we're fooling ourselves if we think that Diggs deep is going. Diggs is going to be an issue deep. So the issue is the Cowboys are probably going to try to put him in situations where they can't go deep. They can't go deep. And so again, no 4-3 base. Nothing 4-3. When you run the 5-man front, when you run blitzes, those are your opportunities. But again, I think this is where the Cowboys made a mistake with Trayvon Diggs. 27 snaps to me was the perfect number, because you're not putting so much pressure on that knee. You're giving him time in between, whatever the case may be. This is where they need to keep him, because look at how they ramped up Trayvon Diggs in week 2. He said that's when he started having the swelling. They ran him 61 snaps. He came back in the next game. He 39. They ramped him up to 53, 82. 82? What? And then 67. So when they bring him back, I think they need to keep him at around 27. I think if they keep him around 27, I think Trayvon Diggs will be fine. Just understand the situations that you're putting him in. Just understand the situations. And I think the Cowboys, again, use him to his strengths. I think he'll be fine. Doomsday, what up? He said, I don't believe Detroit can handle our wide receivers. They can't. They're a middle-of-the-pack defense. They can't handle the Cowboys defense. I mean, the Cowboys wide receivers. And I don't believe their offensive line can handle our defensive line. Detroit is fixing to get bullied. They can't. They can't, Doomsday. And this is why I'm telling you, the game plan for the Detroit Lions is going to be simple. They're going to try to keep the ball out of the hands of Jared Goff, because it's going to be a liability if they don't. He will not have time to throw. The only way he has time to throw is the Detroit Lions can run the ball. If the Detroit Lions can run the ball, they'll be able to get the play action running. But it's a simple game plan for me if it's the Dallas Cowboys. They're not running the ball if I'm Dallas. This is what you're not going to do. I said the same thing about Kansas City, and it's exactly what the Cowboys did. Stop the run and put the game in the hands of Jared Goff. And if they put the game in the hands of Jared Goff, the Cowboys are going to win this game going away. So real quick, I want to look at, before we look at the power, well, wait a minute. Let's look at the power rankings first. The power rankings for this week. Very interesting. The power ranks. And they seem to be pretty accurate this week as the season is going on. Let's check this out. The NFL power ranks. The Los Angeles Rams are at number 1. I'll be honest with you. If I was doing the power ranks, the Los Angeles Rams would not be number 1. Bro, you don't get to stay number 1 getting beat by the Carolina Panthers. Not doing it. Matthew Stafford was atrocious. Everybody gets to have a couple of bad games, but Matthew Stafford was atrocious in that game with multiple turnovers. It's atrocious. The Los Angeles Rams are ranked number 1. They shouldn't be in the power ranks. I think it should either be the Seattle Seahawks, the Hawks. I think it should either be the Seattle Seahawks, the Denver Broncos, or the Chicago Bears. I'm not giving the New England Patriots the number 4 power rank. The New England Patriots have got to have the easiest schedule in the league right now. They're going to waltz into the playoffs. The problem is they're not going to make it. Because I don't think they're good enough to beat the Denver Broncos. Not in the playoffs. I think the Broncos will get them. But the power ranks are the Broncos are number 3. They're playing some really good football. If they can win 9 in a row, the Cowboys can win 8 in a row. These doggone New England Patriots, I do got to give Vrabel some credit, though. Vrabel has got the New England Patriots at 4-2. This Coach of the Year thing, man, it is going to be a run for the money between Vrabel, between Ben Johnson, between Brian Schottenheimer. They have the Green Bay Packers ranked at number 5. I would probably have the Chicago Bears ahead of the Green Bay Packers, but I understand it is what it is. The Chicago Bears are at 9-3, and they are at number 6. The Indianapolis Colts, I'm not sure I would have them at the number 7 spot, but they're at number 7. The 49ers, this is who we're trying to get. We're trying to get the San Francisco 49ers, but we got to do it one game at a time. In case we don't win the division, we got to find a way to tie with the San Francisco 49ers in wins. The Buffalo Bills are ranked number 9. I'm not really sure if I'd have them ranked at number 9. And I'll tell you this, I definitely wouldn't have the Philadelphia Eagles ranked at number 10 and the Detroit Lions at number 11. But I understand why they're doing it because of the number of wins that they have. So they're at number 10 and they're at number 11. The Jacksonville Jaguars are at number 12 and the Houston Texans are ranked at number 13. They got the Baltimore Ravens at 14 at 6-6, which is banana bonkers to me. There's no way I'm ranking them over the Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers are the number 15th ranked team. And ranked at 16, which I think is pretty accurate. Cowboys are at number 16. The Cowboys are at number 16. I want to go over here and read what they said about the Lions and the Cowboys. Says right here, the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, a painful Thanksgiving loss to the Green Bay Packers included an early ankle injury for Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it was followed by the news that Frank Ragnow wouldn't be coming out of retirement. They know doggone well they was getting him for the Dallas Cowboys. They were getting him for the Cowboys because they know that defensive line isn't going to hold up. They said spoiling the Detroiters' holiday season that much more. It says the hyper-aggressive Lions once again suffered from fourth down failures. And they just haven't been able to replicate last season's magic against a brutal schedule. Jared Goff gamely tried to rally the Lions without his top receiver, but just couldn't get it done, resulting in the third one-score loss since the Week 8 bye. The postseason remains possible, and beating the Cowboys and Rams in the next 2 games will go a long way towards making that happen. But we must brace ourselves for the possibility Detroit ends up on the outside looking in come playoff time. Don't be shocked if the Detroit Lions lose both of those games. Do not be shocked if the Detroit Lions lose both of these games to the Cowboys and to the Rams. And one of the things that stands out to me in what they're saying about these doggone Detroit Lions, man, this dude Dan Campbell sells his team out on these fourth down tries. I'm gonna talk about this in the pregame stuff. This is where the Cowboys, I believe, can really take advantage of them because this dude Dan Campbell is hyper aggressive. He loves to go forward on fourth down. The Cowboys are going to have to stay ready because those will be the opportunities where the Cowboys will be able to pull away from the Detroit Lions, because I'm telling us, I could see him going for it on 4th and 2 at the Cowboys 45. I could see him going for it. Cowboys stop him, and they get a short field, take it in for a score. Says about the Cowboys, pretty accurate. Says fresh off the most thrilling 5-day stretch of the Cowboys 2025 season. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember any Thanksgiving stretch the Cowboys have had like this. I really don't. The Cowboys win 3 games in a row, it says, during which they beat both participants in this past February's Super Bowl. Dallas is officially in the playoff mix. The boys probably can't lose another game, and they may have to travel to Detroit on a short week. But perhaps they're catching the Lions at the right time. Dak Prescott was dealing on Thanksgiving, and the defense continued its recent ascent, forcing 4 straight Chiefs punts and getting another big stop early in the fourth quarter. No matter how this ends, both Jerry and Brian Schottenheimer have helped their causes. Even if the Michael Parsons trade remains unpopular, the Quinnen Williams acquisition is looking like a home run, and Dallas has won 3 straight games since the bye. The NFL is more interesting when the Cowboys are competitive. Standing ovation. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but I was saying, and I don't know what's really going on with this, but there is something going on to the effect that there seems to be some big deal that the NFL is trying to get, or whatever the case may be. And I'm telling this right now, any deal the NFL wants to get, the Cowboys going to the playoffs is going to help them get it. The playoffs will be fire with the Dallas Cowboys in there. The NFL, guys, I'm telling you right now, the NFL has gotten so boring because the Cowboys are not in the playoffs. Now, how long can you go without America's team being in the playoffs and being in Super Bowls? It's starting to get extremely boring. It really is. It is time for the Cowboys to get back in the playoffs and get back to a bowl game, because it's going to set the ratings for the NFL on fire. It really is. Before we get into the Cowboys versus the Lions, or as we get into it, let's kind of look back on the Detroit Lions also. The Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers. Amon-Ra St. Brown set them way back. Way back. This was the last game that the Detroit Lions played. They scored 14 in the second quarter, and then they scored 7 in the third, 3 in the fourth. Jordan Love, 4 touchdowns. Man, he was a problem early on. But like he had a pretty good game here. He had 18 for 30 for 230 yards. Jared Goff, it's not that Jared Goff isn't accurate. That is for sure. But that offense just hasn't been the same without Ben Johnson. Even though, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're top 3, but understand what I'm saying when I say they're not the same. The Detroit Lions last year were putting up 40-plus points on teams. They were putting up 40 points on teams like it was nothing. Jahmyr Gibbs was 20 for 68. Jameson Williams was 7 for 144. Let's kind of look at what they did in the rushing department, because I'm very interested in this. As far as what the tandem did. So I think the Cowboys defense is as good as the Green Bay Packers, because we played the Green Bay Packers this year. They scored 40, I believe. I can't remember the exact score, but we tied 40 points, whatever the case was. I think our defense is as good as theirs. And now I think it may be better. Because it ain't like we didn't put up points on them. Our defense is better. The Green Bay Packers couldn't put up 40 on this current Cowboys defense. They just couldn't do it. Jahmyr Gibbs was 20 for 68. David Montgomery was 8 for 32. I can tell you right now, if these two guys, if they run for only 100 yards against the Cowboys, it's a blowout. It's a blowout. In order for the Detroit Lions to beat the Dallas Cowboys, they are going to need 150 to 200 yards from these two guys. They're going to need them all over the place. They're going to need them in the passing game. It looks like in the passing game, Jahmyr Gibbs was 3 for 18. David Montgomery was 2 for 16. They're going to need them for more than that. These two running backs, they're going to have to use them like crazy this week. They're going to have to use them like crazy this week. Amon-Ra St. Brown set them back. He really set them back. And so they're going to need those guys against Cowboys, because I can tell you now, they run for 100 yards, game over. 100 yards ain't enough to beat the Cowboys. Not with Jared Goff. No, they're going to need 150 to 200 yards, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. The Green Bay Packers, they did a pretty good job on their defense. It looks like here, I'm just kind of looking at Aiden Hutchinson. He was three tackles, 3 assists, no sacks. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. So the defense, just kind of looking at the box score, not knowing all the quarterback pressures and all that. They don't seem like they did a bang-up job against the Green Bay Packers. And this is probably one of the reasons. It explains why Jordan Love, it explains why he was 18 of 30, 234 yards and 4 touchdowns. Well, they obviously couldn't get to him the way they needed to. And so that's kind of the story of the game they played against the Green Bay Packers. And I can tell you now, guys, I'm not even saying this because of the Cowboys and the issue. I'm sorry. I just think the Cowboys are better than the Green Bay Packers. Right now. Right now. R-A-T. Right now, the Cowboys are better than the Green Bay Packers. Right now. Right now, the Green Bay Packers couldn't see the Cowboys. They couldn't see the Cowboys. I don't think they could. The Cowboys defense, man, is way too good. It is way, way, way too good. And so I think the Cowboys would get them if they played them today. This is why I'm telling you, nobody want to see Cowboys in the playoffs. I guarantee you teams are rooting against the Cowboys. I bet you they're rooting against the Cowboys going to the playoffs. And let me just show you a couple more things about the Detroit Lions as we get into our discussion about the Cowboys and the Lions. Man, I'm telling y'all, we are not looking at the same team from last year. We are not looking at the same team. Let's kind of go back and look at their schedule. We are not, guys, looking at the same team. The Lions were actually incredible last year. They were mauling teams until they got decimated with injuries. And this is one of the reasons why I say they have missed their window of opportunity. When you look at what they've done this year, they scored 34 on the Giants, 24 on the Packers, 9 on the Eagles, 44 on the Commanders, 24 on the Bucks, 24 on the Vikings, and you notice they're scoring some good points on bad teams. 17 on the Lions. 17 on the Chiefs. 37 on the Bengals. They were missing. One of Joe Burrow was out by that time. And then they scored 34 on the Cleveland Browns. But let me see here. Yeah, 38 on the Ravens, 52 on the Bears, and they scored 13 on the Packers. But when you go back to the Lions last year, I want you to look at how dominant they were. I think this is last year. They were dominant. 26, 16, 20. Look at these scores from last year. 42 on the Seahawks, 47 on the Cowboys, 31 on the Lions, 52 on the Titans. They went 24 on the Packers, 26 on the Texans, 52 on the Jags, 24-6 on the Colts, 23-20 on the Bears. They scored 34 against the Packers on the last game. They got beat again on the Buffalo Bills on December the 15th. They still put up 42 points. They scored 34 points December the 22nd, 40 points December the 30th. They scored 31 points against the Vikings. They were putting up massive amounts of points last year with Ben Johnson. And when you look at the opponent's points, they were doing pretty good on defense, but towards the end, they got decimated. They really got decimated as the season went on. And that's why the Washington Commanders, and I don't even think it was the defense why they snuck up on the Lions. I mean, when you look at that game, the tale of this game is Jared Goff. Jared Goff sold the Lions down the river. And this is one of the reasons why I think the Cowboys are going to be able to beat them. He was 23 of 40, 313, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and 2 sacks. And he was atrocious. He sold him. He sold him. And I think if the Cowboys can do what they're supposed to do, he's going to sell them against the Cowboys too. He's going to sell them against the Cowboys too. Let's look at the Cowboys. Let's look at this. Let's look at our pregame show here for this Cowboys game. Week 14. Let's see what we're working with here in week 14. And hold on, let's pull this up first. Let's go into some of the dirty details on this game first. And then we'll pull up our slides that we have on them. Vegas has the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. Vegas now have the Cowboys at -3 underdog. Now, when you see stuff like that, that also lets you know what they are saying is there is a good chance the Cowboys are going to beat the Detroit Lions in the eyes of Vegas. Because you're at home and you're only you're only favored by 3. No, that says something that the Cowboys that Vegas is saying the Cowboys might do a number. And as we get to Wednesday, it may even become closer than that. But as we look at this over here, and what I want to look at is more of, let's see if it's the matchup stats I'm looking for. Yeah, the matchup stats. The Detroit Lions and the Cowboys. The Cowboys is the number 2 overall ranked offense, but the Detroit Lions are the number 3 overall ranked offense. Now, let's put this into perspective. The Cowboys have been pretty consistent all season long and have really come on in the last 3 games because the Cowboys were actually number 1 and they fell to number 3, I think it was, maybe number 3 after the Arizona and the Denver game. But now after these last 3 games, the Cowboys have kind of picked it back up, and Dak Prescott is throwing for more yards than anybody in the NFL. The Cowboys have been putting up massive yards and points over the last 3 games. And so the Cowboys have fought themselves back into the number 2 spot. Now, when we think about the Detroit Lions are at the number 3 spot. Now, the Detroit Lions have not fared so well kind of down this 5-game stretch. So while they're on the decline, the Cowboys are on the incline. And so when you look at yards per game, I mean, both of these teams' offenses, I mean, they're looking pretty good when you're just matching up offenses. The yards per game, the Cowboys are number 1. The Detroit Lions are ranked number 3. Points per play, the Cowboys are ranked number 5. They're ranked number 3. Yards per play, the Cowboys are ranked number 3. They're ranked number 2. Third down conversions, the Cowboys are number 5. The Detroit Lions are at 19. Fourth down conversions, the Cowboys are at number 19. And the Detroit Lions are at number 18. Now, This is a very interesting stat when you think about the fact that the Detroit Lions go for it on fourth down a lot. They go for it on fourth down a lot. So for them to be at 52%, the Cowboys are really going to have to be on their toes with this and really try to keep them in third and longs so they don't get them in them fourth and shorts and let them extend drives going forward on fourth down. Red zone scoring percentage, the Cowboys are 13 and the Detroit Lions are ranked number 7. So when you look at the Dallas Cowboys versus the Detroit Lions rushing, the Cowboys play percentage, they're at number 26, but this is the meat and potatoes right here. Rush yards per play, the Cowboys are at 4.6. The Detroit Lions are at number 2 with 5 yards 5 yards rushing per play. Rushes per game, the Cowboys rank number 21 with about 26 rushes. They rank number 12 with basically about 28 rushes. Yards per game, the Cowboys are 13th. The Detroit Lions are number 4. The Cowboys do about 122. They do about 138. Rushing TDs, the Cowboys are number 14. The Detroit Lions are at number 3. The Cowboys are going to have their hands full, at least I believe early on, because the Detroit Lions, if I'm the Detroit Lions going against the Cowboys, the game plan is simple. I want to win time and possession. I want to keep the Cowboys offense off the field. I want to run and run and run and run the ball. And I want to try to make this into, if I'm the Lions, I mean, the magic number is you got to keep the Dallas Cowboys below 30 points. So the Detroit Lions are more than likely going to try to run this ball and have time of possession, and they're going to try to play keep away, and they don't mind winning a game 21-17, 24-20, 24-21. That'll probably be their goal more than likely, because if they drop back to pass the ball a bunch of times against the Cowboys, they're going to lose. And that's exactly, if I'm the Cowboys, what I want to force them into. So if I'm the Cowboys, one of the things that I definitely want to do is I want to put a tremendous amount of pressure on Jared Goff, from the perspective of stopping the run, putting the game in his hand, and from the perspective of when he passes, I want that pass rush in his face. I want him on the run, on the move. I want him off his spot, making him make dumb throws, making him make bad mistakes, and that way Diggs keeping everything in front of him, and Savone Revel Jr. keeping everything in front of him, and Savone has already been playing some press. Savone may definitely get an opportunity at some interceptions. And so this is going to be a game that, in the grand scheme of things, I think it really does favor the Dallas Cowboys. It really does favor the Dallas Cowboys. And don't be deterred. Let's go to our slides real quick. And don't be deterred, Cowboys fans. Don't be deterred by the Cowboys' defensive overall ranking. Don't let that get you down in the dumps. The overall Dallas Cowboy defensive ranking, it's coming from 12 games. It's coming from 12 games. It's not coming from, and this is key, the last 3 games. The last 3 games, the Cowboys have been on point defensively. They have been on point defensively. Mills is in the house. Mills, what's going on? Mills, let me tell you. This is what I think the Cowboys are banking on. Mills. Jerry said they know what Diggs is. Well, if they know what Diggs is, he's a man corner. I see them playing Diggs in these blitzing situations, short yardage situations, playing him very situationally to where it plays to what his strength is. Because, Mills, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to agree with you from this perspective. What you don't want Diggs doing is playing in a situation to where double moves or somebody's going to take him deep. Diggs can't do that. He just can't do that anymore. He can't do that anymore. Diggs has never been a burner. He's never been a burner. And with those knees, you start messing with these guys' knees, cornerbacks, wide receivers, running backs. You start messing with those knees, it's different. You don't want him to have to turn and run. What you want for Diggs is for him to read and react. What's in front of him, quarterback, force the ball out of his hand, looking, bam, make that move like he did in Green Bay. Diggs is off to the races. This is what I think they're going to try to do with Diggs. This is what I think they're going to try to do with Diggs. And I don't think they're going to have Diggs in trying to run, at least if they're smart. I say again, going back to what I said early on, the magic number for Diggs is 27 to 28 snaps. 30 tops. Make it very situational. Make sure, don't put him in 4-3 base. When you're running blitzes, whenever you're running things that you know the quarterback is going to have to get the ball out of his hand fast. Trevon Diggs, he can eat off that. He can eat off that stuff in front of him. And so, again, like I keep saying, he still got ball skills. I don't think he lost his ball skills. I think what he's losing, or what he's lost, is his ability to turn and run, quick stops, and things of that nature. But he still got ball skills. I mean, he is the next wide receiver. He still got hands, too. But we're going to see what they do with Diggs. Bass said they call him a Trayvon Diggs hater. Well, if they call you a hater, then what they calling me? Bass said he not the same. I think everybody know he's not the same. Yeah, he not the same. There's no doubt about it. How can you be the same when you've had those two injuries? You can't be the same. What's going on, Ice Cold Cowboy? Uncle Charles, what's going on? Salute to you and Ice Cold Cowboy. What's going on? Uncle Charles said, great show, brother. He said, you saw a lot of problems. He said, we've been having with the Cowboys. Thank you, Uncle Charles. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Real estate vet. I said this when the season started. I said the Cowboys are going to flash. And I said I wouldn't even be surprised if they made it to the NFC Championship game. We're going to see if it comes to fruition. Yeah, this is the Cowboys putting this league on alert. They're going to be a real team. Real estate vet said, I think we all are failing to see that everything that is happening this season is only a taste of next season. Next year, using that extra first-round pick, the league is scared and doesn't want to speak on it. The real estate vet, and watch what they do in free agency. The Cowboys will be a juggernaut in 2026. Big Rumbowski, what up with you? Hey, as long as they respectful, they can be in the chat. As long as they're not cursing and calling folks names and all that stuff, they can remain in the chat, Rumbowski, Daniel Lim, everybody. Y'all can handle up on them. Y'all can definitely handle up on them going back and forth. It's all good. We welcome them opposite takes because we can handle it because we got a great team right now. Yeah, we got a great team. But anything disrespectful, nah, get rid of them. I understand getting rid of them on disrespectful. But if they saying the Cowboys go get beat, I love to hear that kind of talk because I want to see them come back in there after Thursday night. I want to see them come back Thursday night if they say the Cowboys going to lose. Because I'm telling you now, Cowboys ain't losing. Rico Jones, my man, he said, yo, G, fire content. Appreciate you. All right, so let's go into this thing with the Cowboys. Let's go into this thing with the Cowboys, guys. Week 14. Let's roll it. I had to come up with some storylines. Storylines for this week. Excuse me. Jerry Jones mentioned it. Cowboys revenge game. Excuse me. Brian Schottenheimer might not be thinking about it. He may not be thinking about it like a revenge game. But Jerry Jones said. Rico Jones? Jerry Jones said he can't get it out of his mind. Rico Jones said we owe them Lions belt to butt for 2025. Get your popcorn. Hey, Jerry said he can't get it out of his mind. Jerry want them boys to go in there and put foots on them boys. He wants them to put foots in them boys. Daniel Lee, my right-hand man up in here. What's going on? Cowboys revenge game. The Detroit Lions beat the Cowboys last year in Dallas, 47-9. They pulled everything out of the playbook. I mean, they went deep into the playbook. They had offensive linemen out there lining up as wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, whatever you want to call them. They had them out there doing everything. What? Insanity. Revenge game. Revenge game. Storyline number 2. Angie the Rubber Chicks. Storyline number 2. George Pickens cannot be stopped on this slant play. George Pickens cannot be stopped on this slant play. And because he cannot be stopped on this slant play, the Cowboys are going to have to continue to use it as a way to open up their offense. And the way it's going to open up their offense, and I'm going to pull it up, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can pull up Michael Irvin explaining this. This George Pickens slant play is a problem for a team because this dude is so dangerous. He's so dangerous that if you defend it, he's got an opportunity to either fake you and go deep, or now it's going to have it to where George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb will be open on the other side, probably one-on-one. If you say you're going to let him have it, he has the potential to make make one man miss and keep turning it into these big plays like he's turning it into. Storyline number 3. Dan Campbell calling plays. I believe this is one of the best things that happened to the Cowboys. I love the fact that Dan Campbell is calling plays. He's very arrogant. Obviously, he thinks he's a better play caller than the offensive coordinator. He's obviously thinking that he's the answer to fixing the offense. He goes forward hyper aggressively on 4th down. The Cowboys, if they will just capitalize on when he goes for it on 4th down, they're beating this team. And they're beating this team handily. Dan Campbell's play calling and 4th downs are a huge storyline in this game. Storyline number 4. Dak Prescott must be phenomenal. He must continue to be phenomenal. Dak Prescott, they are going to have to bury the Detroit Lions early. Bury them. Don't let this be a tit for tat game. No. The Cowboys need to take away the run game from them. And one of the ways you take the run game away from them. Get up on them 17. Get up on them 14. Make Dan Campbell go into that playbook. Make him go beyond those run plays, because I'm telling you, he's going to dial up a bunch of them. The Cowboys can take the heart of the Lions. They can take their heart and end their season. Bass, the Lions are down bad. Yes. And if I'm the Cowboys, I'm going to finish stomping them in the ground. Storyline number 5. Jared Goff versus the Cowboys pass rush. I got a feeling it's going to be a nightmare. I have a feeling it's going to be a nightmare. If the Cowboys can keep them in passing downs, it's going to be a nightmare. Cowboys got them. Put this game in the hands of Jared Goff. Storyline number 6. Detroit has lost 3 of the last 5 games. The Detroit Lions are desperate, but they don't have the personnel to play out of that desperation. When you play against the Dallas Cowboys, you absolutely want to have all your weapons. Not just because the Dallas defense is much improved. You want all of your weapons because the Cowboys can score points. The Detroit Lions are an average defense. They're about mid-pack, somewhere around 15 mid-pack. An average defense is not good enough to stop the Cowboys. Storyline number 7. Cowboys playoff implications. JS Tube is back in the building. JS Tube said something. He said, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves, G. KC went through this defense without a problem. The Lions offense is still potent. The rest of the schedule is not that easy either, just saying. Well, I'll tell you this, JS Tube. They didn't go through the Dallas Cowboys defense with no problem. Cowboys stopped them 3 straight times. Cowboys had a big stop in the 4th quarter. The Cowboys made some great stops on them when it counted. So the Cowboys should be able to do some similar things to the Detroit Lions because they are not at full speed. Amon-Ra St. Brown missing is going to be a big problem. I don't think they're going to be able to run up the middle of the Cowboys defense. And I think the Cowboys are going to do exactly what they did against the Chiefs. I said the same thing last week, JS2. The only way the Cowboys beat the Chiefs is you take away the run game. The Cowboys took away the run game for the most part. They put it in the hands of Patrick Mahomes. He's a magician, almost pulled it off. Cowboys got to stop. Jared Goff ain't Patrick Mahomes. Cowboys get up on the Detroit Lions and it's over. They don't have what it takes to come back. Cowboys will get them. Now the Cowboys also, JS, the Cowboys are going one game at a time. I'm the one creating the Cowboys' road to the playoffs. Cowboys are one game at a time. But I will say this, JS2. The rest of the Cowboys game, while they're not easy, the Cowboys should win those games. The Cowboys are going to have a tremendous amount of focus. The Vikings is easy, but the Cowboys can't sleep on the Vikings. The Chargers, the Cowboys are better than the Chargers, but they're going to have to really play a great game. The Commanders down the stretch, the Cowboys will win that game, I think, easily. The New York Giants will beat Unpacked It In, and they're going to the Bahamas. The Cowboys will beat the Giants, and who knows? At the rate we're going, the Cowboys might not even have to beat the Giants at the last game of the season because the Eagles are on a collapse too. The Eagles may very well collapse. And if the Eagles collapse and wound up getting to the point that the only thing they can do is win 10 games, well, the Cowboys got this thing. The Philadelphia Eagles cannot tie in wins with the Dallas Cowboys. All the pressure right now is on the Eagles. The Cowboys are playing with house money. Cowboys are playing with house money. Cowboys are in a great position. Next up, injury report. We're going to come back with this tomorrow because I don't really know. I know Tyler Guyton is out. We're not sure if Diggs is playing. Kalen Carson is questionable. There's a lot of things going on right now out there, so not sure how this is all going. The Detroit Lions, it looks like Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be out, and if he is, that's going to be a huge blow for the Detroit Lions. So when we look at the overall stat comparison between the Detroit Lions and the Cowboys, they look eerily similar until you look at the tape. Jared Goff ain't playing like Dak Prescott, but he's got a lot of weapons. Yards per play, they're even. Points per play, Lions, but they're pretty much even. Rush play percentage, 40 to 45. The Lions, of course, they run more than us. Pass play percentage, the Cowboys throw more. Completion percentage, Jared Goff and Dak Prescott almost match up. Third down conversion percent, the Cowboys are better. Red zone percentage, the Detroit Lions are better. And it makes sense because Brian Schottenheimer, for whatever reason, gets inside of the red zone, gets to the 2-yard line and starts passing the ball. Don't understand it. Detroit Lions got a better run game. They run down there in the red zone, especially when they get towards the goal line. It makes sense. When it comes to offensive position comparison, this was a tough one. Dak Prescott, of course, is better than Jared Goff. Running back, man, I struggle with this one. But I do think in a running back situation, that two-headed monster may be better than Javonte Williams and Malik Davis, because the Cowboys don't really use Malik Davis and Javonte Williams yet as a two-headed monster. So it's more Javonte Williams than anything, even though Malik Davis had a great run this past week. The Detroit Lions, I think overall that running back situation is better, but not by much. Not by much. I'm telling you, I'm splitting hairs when I say it. Wide receiver. Cowboys were better even if Robert St. Brown was healthy. Cowboys have the best wide receiver duo in football. Offensive line, I'm giving that to the Cowboys. Also, tight end position, I'm kind of calling that even. Coaching overall, as far as the offense and the head coach, I'm giving Brian Schottenheimer the edge over Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell used to be clever, used to be aggressive. Now he just seems to be arrogant and just trying to prove that he's the answer for the team. Not working out for him. Not working out for him. And overall, on offense, I'm giving the edge to the Dallas Cowboys. Defensive comparisons, it's no surprise. The Cowboys dug themselves in such a hole the first 8 games of the season. The Cowboys dug themselves in such a hole. The Cowboys will rank the number 31 team in the league as far as defense goes. So it's no surprise. The Lions are better. Opponents' yards per play, 6 by the Cowboys, only 5 by the Lions. Opponents' points per play, 0.4 by the Cowboys, 0.3 by the Lions. All opponents' completion percentage, 68 for the Cowboys. We already know we were getting sliced and diced. We were getting sliced and diced in the past game. The Lions are at 61. Opponents' third down percentage, Cowboys are at 48. The Lions are at 37. Opponents' red zone percentage, Cowboys giving up massive amounts of points down there in the red zone, 71%. The Lions, 63%. So this is no surprise. Defensive comparison, position comparison. Now, what you have to look at with the Cowboys are the last 3 games. I think overall the Cowboys D-line is better. I think the Cowboys linebacking crew is probably around the same. But when it comes to the back end, I'm giving the edge to the Detroit Lions. Y'all tell me if y'all see it different. I'm giving the edge to the Detroit Lions on the cornerback and the safety position. I'm giving the edge to the Lions overall coaching and overall. But I'm still giving Matt Eberflus a lot of credit. And after this week, if Matt Eberflus puts up the same performance he's put up over the last 3 weeks, I'm going to have to start giving Matt Eberflus the edge in some of these games. But this is kind of where I believe we are in the defensive comparison. But when I look at the Cowboys offense against the Lions defense, when I think about the number 2 overall offense going against the number 15 overall defense, I'm giving the edge to the Cowboys. So, let me read some comments before I get to my key matchups. Marquiatos Chavez, he said, in my opinion, I think Detroit will be the easiest out of the 3-game gauntlet. You might be right. Sandy's Fan Show, he said, -3 means Vegas thinks it even. Yeah, I'm gonna wait another couple of days. I got a strange feeling that Vegas is gonna move this number, Sandy's Fan Show. Welcome to the congregation today. Good to see you. Let's see here. Bass said number 3. Again, I think they amassed a lot of that early on. Ice Cold said they can come closer than close, but DC4L, they will never be. No doubt about it. Brandy said we need to win. I think we will win. Lock and D said I ain't overlooking the Lions. They have tons of injuries. The Cowboys going to whoop them easily. Nobody is stopping Pickens. This is going to be the key. Pickens is going to open up the Cowboys offense. And Lamb going to eat. Lamb going to eat. You watch what I tell you. Lamb is going to eat. Edward Frazier, you're exactly right. Cowboys stop the run, they're winning. They're going to make them one-dimensional. I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Mose Logan said teams working together to keep us out the playoffs. Yeah, and the Cowboys did put themselves behind the 8-ball, Mose Logan. There are 2 games the Cowboys shouldn't have lost. And actually, I would say it was Chicago, but now we realize Chicago is better than we thought. But the Cowboys, there's no way they should have lost to the Arizona Cardinals. And the Cowboys, what was the other game I'm thinking of? Cowboys shouldn't have lost to the Arizona Cardinals. Shouldn't have lost to the Carolina Panthers. JS Tube said, one concern I have is the Cowboys' short yardage goal line offense. JS Tube, I just mentioned this. He said, need to clean it up. That run game is good with Williams and Davis. Need to use that more in those crucial situations. Yeah, I think number 1, Davis needs more carries. Number 2, Shotty needs to stop being cute down there at the goal line and just run the ball. Shotty get on the 2-yard line. He get on the 2-yard line and start passing the ball. Come on, baby. Come on, Shotty. Gotta do better than that. Doomsday says, Shotty, I think Shotty's going to show Dan Campbell you're not running the ball. Put the ball in Jared Goff's hands, flushing out of the pocket, making him throw on the run. Yeah, I think that's the game plan. I think that's the game plan. Make Jared Goff beat you. Make him beat you. Make him beat you. Freddie Morales in the house. What's going on? Make Jared Goff beat you. That's how you win this game. Yeah, Marquietos, I'm wondering the same thing. Josh Butler has already posted on Twitter. He's been ready. Said he's been ready. I'm ready to see him. Paul Lander, he said, I like your road to the playoffs. I think the Cowboys are going to go on a historic run just like they did when they picked up Amari Cooper. Yeah. I'll show that too as we're talking about this too. Ice Wild Cowboy. I hope he does. I hope he comes back with a chip on his shoulder. But I also think the Cowboys just kind of listening to Jerry Jones. It sounds like they're going to use him situationally, and if they do that, I like it. I also, again, do not put Trayvon Diggs out there more than 30 snaps. He played 27 snaps in the Eagles game, and he looked great. And I don't find it to be strange that he said in that article after game 2, he started getting swelling in the knee. The Cowboys took him from 27 to, 60-something snaps. No, don't do that. Keep Trayvon Diggs situational. Keep him situational. I'm not playing Diggs in 4-3 base. I'm not playing him in zone. Whenever I go man, I'll put Diggs in. Whenever we're blitzing, I want Diggs in. Diggs may be able to get a jump on the ball because Jared Goff's going to have to get that ball out of his hand quick. I keep saying it. I still believe Diggs has ball skills. The thing that hurts Diggs, and it's not just a skill issue with Diggs, when you've had the knee injuries that he's had, what gets Diggs is when he has to turn and run, especially when he has to turn and run quick. That's how Luther Burden III got him. So if they can keep everything in front of him, and I said this yesterday, if they can keep everything in front of him, I think he's going to be fine. I think he'll be fine. And keep the snap count down to around 27, no more than 30 snaps. No more than 30 snaps. Bass, I've been saying this about Jared Goff. Jared Goff is officially the backup to the Statue of Liberty. This dude is a statue in the pocket. It's crazy. I mean, he sits back there and he waits on the sack. He can't move. Booby D. That's the point I keep making. Make Jared Goff beat you. Because I don't think he can. I don't think he can beat you, especially without Amon-Ra St. Brown. I believe they're going to try to feature Jameson Williams. They're going to try to get that run game going. I don't think that's going to work. I also think they're going to try to use those running backs in the passing game, screens and things of that nature. That's how you stop a defense that likes to run forward or likes to push up the middle. Well, you take all the plays away from the middle. I think that's what the Detroit Lions are going to do. It's the only chance they have. They cannot do anything with the Cowboys in the middle of the field. They can't. They can't do anything with the Cowboys. Danny Vestal, he said, talk all you want. Well, of course, it's called Let's Talk Cowboys. He said, you don't know until it happens. Of course we don't. Dallas ain't perfect. Never said they were. Don't get too confident. Well, I don't think you have to be too confident. I just think the bottom line is Cowboys are better than the Detroit Lions. The Dallas Cowboys are better than the Detroit Lions. Wait a minute. Is this Dak Delusional? Dak Delusional is in the crib. Dak Delusional said Dak has a defense, weapons, run game, run the table to the NFC Championship game. Stop the music. Is this Dak Delusional? Yes, sir. I see you, Dak Delusional. I see you. Yes, sir. Dak Delusional, he's starting to believe. Let's go. Dak Delusional. Dak Delusional said no team can match the streaks in the NFC Championship game, the Cowboys. Is this Dak Delusional? What? Dak Delusional. I see you, Dak Delusional. It looks like Dak Prescott and this defense has made a believer out of Dak Delusional. I see you. Dak Delusional said, what's up? We beating the Lions. We running the table. Yes, sir. I like to hear that, Dak Delusional. What's going on? Welcome back to the congregation. I see you, Dak Delusional. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Dak Delusional. Yes, sir. I like that, Dak Delusional. Welcome to the congregation. All right. So the key matchups for this game. Dak versus Jared Goff. This is a big deal. Dak Prescott, Jared Goff. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same draft class. Jared Goff, Dak Prescott. I forget the name of the quarterback that went to the Philadelphia Eagles who was never the same after the knee injury. Dak Prescott has proven over time that he actually was the better of all those quarterbacks. He's got to take it all the way. Next key matchup. George Pickens slant play versus the Kansas City Chiefs secondary. This slant play the Cowboys are running with George Pickens is crucial. When Tom Brady asked Dak Prescott, with these two great wide receivers on your left and your right, which one of them are you throwing it to in a certain situation, blah, blah, blah. And the thing he said that really got me was, depends on the play. He said, if it's a slant, I'm going to George Pickens. The issue is with this slant play with George Pickens, and I'm going to see if I can pull it up to let Michael Irvin explain it. But this dude can't be stopped on this slant play. It's a scary situation. I'm going to let Michael Irvin explain it. Another key matchup, Cowboys offensive line against the Lions defensive line. I think the Cowboys are better. Another big matchup for the Cowboys in this game is going to be Terrence Steele and Aiden Hutchinson. This is going to be a humongous matchup. This is going to be a humongous matchup. How will Terrence Steele fare against Aiden Hutchinson? Now, I'm not sure. I'm going to do some research on this. I'm not really sure if Aiden Hutchinson is the kind of defensive or the kind of edge rusher that really gives Terrence Steele trouble. He doesn't really have a problem with the powerful guys as much as he has a problem with the guys who got the moves. But Terrence Steele and Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a huge matchup. I think the matchup of Nate Thomas this week is going to be favorable at the left tackle position. But Terrence Steele and Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a battle to be watched. Cowboys defensive line against the Lions run game. I really want to see how the Detroit Lions are going to approach the Dallas Cowboys, because I don't think they can run on them up the middle. I think they know this too. They're going to have to try to get to the edges on the Cowboys. It's the only way they can do it. I don't see any other way they run. Because, boy, if they run up the middle on the Cowboys with Quinn, and I'm sorry, I can't imagine them being able to do that on the Cowboys. And for them to try to bring back Ragnar, whatever his name was, that tells you all you need to know about the Detroit Lions offensive line. That they were going to bring a man out of retirement to try to get him to match up with Quentin Williams. It's going to be a problem. Cowboys D-line versus the Lions run game. It's going to be a big deal in this game. And again, Quentin Williams against the Detroit Lions guards. These are the matchups to watch. I think the Cowboys are going to win all of these. Next up, offensive keys for the Cowboys to win this game. The Cowboys must establish the run. This entire game is going to be predicated on the Cowboys running the ball. Star Guardian X, I'm going to come back to your other comment too. Star Guardian X, appreciate that super chat. He said, hopefully Diggs doesn't try to sell. Man, I don't think Diggs. I don't think he would try to do that. Because I think if Diggs gets burned one time, I think the Cowboys pull him. I don't even think the Cowboys would put up with more than 2 bad plays from Diggs. Again, Cowboys established a run early. The Cowboys also have got to get off to a fast start. The Cowboys, the last 3 games, the Cowboys have actually started very slow. You cannot keep doing this. The Cowboys have got to figure out a way to get out ahead of these teams. And let me show you what I'm talking about. The Cowboys, when you look at the last 3 games that they won, and this just really tells you how good the Cowboys really are. And let's see if we can go back about 4 games. So when we go back in these games the Cowboys played this year, the Cowboys lost to the Arizona Cardinals. The Cowboys were down 17-7 at the end of the second quarter. They scored 0 points in the first quarter. Brian Schottenheimer has got to figure this out. The Cowboys didn't score an offensive touchdown until the fourth quarter. This 7 points was scored by a blocked punt, I believe, by Sam Williams, and a fumble recovery by Marshawn Nealon. So the Cowboys got behind the 8 ball 17-7 at home, couldn't come back against the Arizona Cardinals. The Cowboys also came out against the Raiders. Now, I do think the Cowboys put foots to the Raiders, so we're not going to count that game. The Cowboys were up 24-9 at the half. Understandable, it was the Raiders. But these games that we're talking about, the bad part is these were all home games. The last 3 home games, the Cowboys have gotten off to very slow starts. Cowboys against the Philadelphia Eagles. Cowboys were down 21-7 in the first half. You can't win. You can't keep winning games like this. At least I say you can't. And even if you can, this is not how you want to live. You want to start getting some leads in these games so you can let your defense pin its ears back and go get another team's quarterback. Cowboys at the end of the second quarter, they were up 17-10, but they were actually down 14-7 in the first quarter. So the Cowboys have got to figure out a way. The Cowboys have got to figure out a way to get a fast start, because I do think this is how you snap. This is how you snap the back of the Detroit Lions. Get up on them early. Get your stops early. Get up on them early so that you force them into a situation even early as the second quarter to where Jared Goff has got to keep dropping back and try to bring them back. Because the more you can take their run game and make it less of a factor, you can beat them. You can beat them. 70s Fan Show, hold on to your hat. This is exactly where I am too. 70s Fan Show said the Cowboys, he said, I see more blitzing with our defense in this game. I'm going to show you exactly where I am on that defensively. The Cowboys, they need to get Pickens early on the slants and then big plays to CeeDee Lamb like they did against the Kansas City Chiefs. Because teams are to the point that they're going to try to take away with two people. They're going to try to double or either bracket Pickens to take away that slant play underneath and over the top. They want to take that away. So they're going to try and put their best cornerback on CeeDee Lamb. And other than Patrick Surtain, I'm sorry, I don't know of any other cornerback that could hold CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens one-on-one. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. So, oh man. Man said ain't no way G clouded like that. Yeah, I'm clouded. Yeah, I can feel the slight tinge of sarcasm in the voice of Dak Delusional. All right. Again, Cowboys, Pickens early, big plays to Lamb. Also, I'd like to see some trick plays to Kevontae Turpin. I really would. Derek Posey, I said the same thing. This can't be Dak Delusional. I said the same thing, but I can sense. Hey, Dak Delusional said it is me. Welcome to the congregation. All right. I want to see Ferguson get a little bit more active in this game. Ferguson got a little active in the last game. I'd like to see him get even more active. And the Cowboys need to score 30 points. Cowboys need to score 30 plus points, and I think they'll be good. Michi, yo, what up with you? Good to see you. Wow, Michi, yo, I forgot about this, bro. Michi, yo said, G, remember what Dak said to Matthew Stafford before the season started? See you in the NFC Championship round. Michi, yo. I made a video about this. And you know, I said this in the video, Michio. It didn't sound like the Dak Prescott was saying that as in, like, you know how sometimes people be like, yeah, we're going to see y'all again. You know, we're going to see y'all. You know, sometimes people just say this stuff. It didn't sound like he was saying it like that to me. It sounded like he knew. It sounded like Dak Prescott knew they were meeting the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Call it what you want. Call it what you want. But it just seemed like to me, Michio, Dak had some inside information. Thank you, Dak fan for life, Carson Wentz. It just seemed like Dak had some inside information when he said, I'll see you in the NFC Championship game. Wow. Michio, I'm glad you brought that back up. I'm glad you brought that back up. I am going to come back. If that happens, bro, we're going to bring out the X-Files music. We're going to have to come back to that, Michio. Because that's boy, that's quite a prophetic saying. All right, let's check this out some more. So let's kind of go a little bit deeper. Cowboys, they're going to have to run the ball. We already know this. Again, run Javonte Williams 20 to 25 times. I want to see Malik Davis with more touches. I want to see Malik Davis with more touches. I think this is one of the reasons why Star Guardian X, you brought up this guy that the Cowboys went out and picked up. His name is Israel Abanikanda. I mean, he's been in the league, I think, about 3 years. He's definitely the type of running back that Brian Schottenheimer likes. Excuse me. If I'm not mistaken, Izzy, I'm gonna just call him Izzy. Izzy is around 5'10", 5'11", 217 pounds. I mean, he had a heck of a season in his last season in college against Pitt, and kind of reading up on him a little bit. I really didn't know. It sounded like people were saying that the Cowboys had an affinity, or the Cowboy fans in the year that he got drafted in 2023. It sounds like he was a fan favorite of the fans. I don't know about the Cowboys, but he was a fan favorite of the fans, and the Cowboys could have got him. The Cowboys could have got him the Cowboys could have drafted him in the 4th round, but instead, the Cowboys went and got a player. What was his name? Viliami Fehoko. Y'all remember Fehoko? Man, that dude barely touched the field for the Cowboys. Cowboys passed over Israel Abanikanda, and a lot of people wanted the Cowboys to get Abanikanda. Well, Cowboys have circled the block on Abanikanda and picked him up, I guess, from the Jets, or whatever the case may be. I'm not going to be jumping and turning cartwheels, Star Guardian X, as it pertains to Israel. I'm not gonna turn cartwheels about this. This could just be a depth issue that the Cowboys have decided to bring Malik Davis up to the 53-man roster and probably gonna leave him there. And so they want to have another running back on the practice squad in case something was to happen to one of those two running backs. It sounds like that Phil Maffa, from everything I'm hearing. I don't know what's going on with the Phil Maffa thing. I don't know whether or not the Cowboys are trying to stash him or not, but it don't look like Phil Maffa is going to come back this season. The Cowboys, Jaden Blue. Y'all mark my words on Jaden Blue. I'll be shocked if the Cowboys cut Jaden Blue at the end of the season. I think Jaden Blue is still going to be a part of the Cowboys' plan going forward. I think he's a part of the plan going forward. I just say the Cowboys are just saying he's not ready yet. And again, for anybody talking bad about him, we got to understand the guy wasn't a 1st or 2nd or 3rd round draft pick. There's a reason why we got him where we got him. So we'll see what he looks like as the season continues to go on. But again, Star Guardian X, I'm not jumping any car. I'm not turning any cartwheels about this guy, Abanikanda. I'm not turning any cartwheels about him at this point in time. He's on the practice squad. We'll see if he works his way off the practice squad. I'm more interested right now in Malik Davis, because I just wonder if Malik Davis kind of looked with a side eye after he had the game that he had last week. I just wonder, he's like, wait a minute, I did good and now y'all gonna get a running back. I don't think it's about Malik Davis didn't do good enough. I think it's about Malik Davis is going to be on the regular roster. And so the Cowboys are preparing themselves for a playoff run in case they need Israel. We'll see how it goes. I still want to see more of Hunter Lipke for the Cowboys at the leading running back position. I still want to see more of Spanford. I wish the Cowboys could figure out ways to do it. The Cowboys, again, man, they don't need any turnovers against the Lions. The only thing a turnover would do for the Lions is keep them in the game. Cowboys need to minimize the penalties. They need to take 5 or 6 deep shots. Same thing I say all the time. I still want to see the Cowboys go deep. Someone mentioned earlier the safeties for the Detroit Lions. like to take chances. Well, if they like to take chances, I'm hope the Cowboys take some chances and try to go deep to CeeDee Lamb like they did last week if he's one-on-one. And I would love to see the Cowboys go deep and get a jump ball to George Pickens like they did against the Eagles. Again, I said it earlier. I want to see the Cowboys get some trick plays or something to Kevontae Turpin. The Cowboys are just not using this man right. They got to get him in space more. They have to get him in space more and utilize his speed. I'd like to see some trick plays from him. Also, I'm telling y'all right now, get ready. Dan Campbell is going to put a lot of pressure on the Cowboys going forward on fourth downs. The Cowboys have to be smart in this game. And please don't take these pages. We've seen Brad Schottenheimer last week. I was so glad when he took the points. Shotty has got to take the points on fourth down. Take the points. Now we're winning. We're not in all Madden mode where we don't have anything to play for. We got a lot to play for. Be aggressive, but also take the points on fourth down if you can. And again, I said it on the last page. No slow start by the Cowboys. Defensive keys. Let's go to these real quick. Yeah, Ryan, I'm going to tell you something. I don't think they're going to underestimate them. I think the Cowboys are going in with a purpose. I think the Cowboys are going in to put foots on these Detroit Lions. Ryan R. said we can't underestimate a wounded Lion. Yeah, they're on a downward spiral. And I think one of their biggest issues right now is Dan Campbell. So Cowboys got to really take advantage of his arrogance right now. Brandon Cupp said, I also think CD Pickens, Ferguson, and Flo get 100 plus. Dak Zilla goes 4 for 400 and Williams slays all day. You know, I don't know if they'll go for 400. I mean, if they go for 400, it might be, man, you might be talking about a shootout if they go for 400. It might be a shootout if that's the case. Bad said, honestly, I'd put 94 on the shelf for a cool minute, at least 2 decades to match Buddy. Oh, 94. Okay, you're talking about Marshawn Nealon. Yeah, I would too. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Gregory said Diggs, rust, and run defense kind of worries me. I hope he doesn't have to tackle a lot of running backs and tackle the wide receivers in their yak runs. Gregory, I hope they don't use him in those situations. I really don't. I hope they don't use him in those situations. Don't put him in any 4-3 base. I think the key is, Jerry said it perfectly. We know Trayvon Diggs. Well, if we know Trayvon Diggs, well, he's a man. He's a man corner. So they'll probably use him in man situations. So it sounds like the Cowboys are going to use him smart. And I'm all for it. Use him smart. Whoa. Mose Logan, I did not put this in my storylines. I'm going to have to update this. James Houston used to play for the Lions. James Houston revenge game. Man, he might go out there and show out. Derek Posey said, not Twinkle Toes. He said, not Tinkle Toes Turpin. He said, not Twinkle Toes Turpin. Hey, Michio, bro. Man, we going to have to come back to this, bro. Man, if the Cowboys meet the Rams, in the NFC Championship game, boy, you want to talk about conspiracy theories. Golly, that would be crazy. Yeah, Brandon Cupp, I'm with you. We need to be splitting touches with Williams and Malik Davis because if we're going to the playoffs, the season is going to be longer. And I think this is one of the reasons why they brought in Israel, just in case. Yeah, Davis is nice, but to conserve Williams, got to think about that. Yeah, because if they're going to make a playoff run, this is why they went and got Israel, because he kind of fits the bill of what shot he likes to, the kind of running back he likes to run. Yeah, Paul Lander, he said, gee, I think they got the other running back to help them with these East Coast cold weather games. What do you think? We'll see. He might not. We'll see. We will definitely see. But Malik Davis is running well right now. He's running well right now, so we'll see what they do. Ice Cold said Blue need a mechanic. He got sugar. Yeah. Jaden Blue, I don't know what the issue is. Yeah, Sammy's Fan Show. I think it's running back depth. That's what I think too. Lock and D said we're drafting 2 running backs and they're not even playing. We really need to start drafting good players. I think they're stashing Maffa for whatever reason. I think they're stashing Phil Maffa. I think Phil Maffa is going to be a part of the long-term plan. Yeah, he'll be a part of the long-term plan. All right. Defensive keys. I believe the Cowboys need to get 6 defensive stops, force 3 turnovers, pressure golf up the middle, stop the run. 70s Fan Show. I got this on my list. Blitz, blitz, blitz. Defensive front dominance, play physical. That's where I am with the Cowboys defense. Matt Eberflus has been looking real good these last few games. And if you're paying attention to what Jerry is saying, Matt Eberflus is going nowhere. Cowboys are going to continue to get him players, and he's going nowhere. Going a little bit more in depth, I say the Cowboys need to stop Gibbs and Montgomery. 5-man front to shut down the run. Want to see Overshown make some big plays now that he's kind of worked himself back in. I want to see some defensive back interceptions. I want to see Savon Revel Jr. get one, Bland get one. I'd like to see Diggs get one. We need some turnovers. And I think we're going to get some opportunities in that secondary. The Cowboys have got to make sure they stop Jameson Williams. He is their threat for the secondary. Be ready. I don't remember who mentioned this earlier, but I am telling you, be ready for trick plays with Dan Campbell. Cowboys going to have to be on full alert on this man. They have got to be ready for trick plays. Dan Campbell this dude is coaching for his life right now. This dude is coaching for his life. For sure. Cowboys got to be ready for trick plays. Minimize the big plays. I'm telling you now, Dan Campbell is going for him. Pressure Jared Goff constantly. Pressure him constantly. Gap integrity, create turnover, stop Campbell. I'm telling us this dude is going to be going for it on 4th down. Book it. This is his MO. He's been doing it for the last 2 seasons. Stop his 4th down tries and you will win this game. And the Cowboys, come out and match this energy. The Detroit Lions are going to come out with a lot of energy. They are. Gonna come out with a lot of energy. For sure. Yeah, Yamar. I forgot about James Houston, man. Man, I gotta put that in the storylines. I forgot about James Houston. Ron Hanna, man, you know what? And this is again, I'm actually hoping the Cowboys don't put him in that situation. Don't play him in no 4-3 base. Keep him in those, wherever you're going to blitz, wherever you know that Goff's going to have to get the ball out of his hand. I'm playing Trayvon Diggs in those situations, and I like his chances. I like his chances. Hey, Michio, everyone laughed when he said it. Hey, man, let me tell you something. I thought it was strange. I'm serious. I thought it was strange, Michio. Dak didn't say that as in like hyperbole, like, yeah, man, we're going to see y'all in the NFC Championship game. No, he said that like this was a known thing. Like everybody knew that, hey, we're going to be in the NFC Championship. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Man, I'm just saying. Let me see. Newhouse fam in the crib. What up, Newhouse fam? Newhouse fam, I'm struggling with this thing with Blue, man. Newhouse fam said, look in the past, every fast running back. He said, look in the past. Every fast running back the Cowboys have had break for long runs. Look at Turpin. He weigh less than Blue, and even he breaks for long runs. Some ain't adding up with Blue. Newhouse fam, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm riding with this dude, Brad Schottenheimer. But I'm agreeing with what Lock and D is saying here. I believe some of this is bias. I truly believe some of this is bias. Lock and D is saying it right. Blue ain't the type of running back Shotty like. Man, I don't care what anyone says. Running back translates to the NFL better than any position in football. Ain't no way Jaden Blue has forgot how to run the ball. There's no way Jaden Blue has forgot how to catch the ball. There is no way that Jaden Blue has forgot how to run fast. He just isn't the type of running back that Brian Schottenheimer likes. And I'm going to boil it down to that. I'm not believing that this dude can't play football. I'm not believing it. Said his fans show, he said, y'all might have to call Dak Prescott a prophet after it's all over. Hey, said his fans show. Man, I did a video. I'm about to go back and watch that video because when Dak Prescott said that, I thought it was strange. Man, Dak didn't say that like, Dak said that like they knew. What up, I am him? Shotty didn't want Maffa or Blue. That's who Will McClay wanted. And Shotty doing everything not to play at them. Hey, I am him. Somewhere in there, while I don't know all the details, I'm agreeing with you somewhere in there. I'm agreeing with you. I'm absolutely agreeing with you somewhere in there. Somewhere the answer is in there. Somewhere in there, that is the answer. There is some bias against Jaden Blue. But it is what it is. Yeah, Ryan R. said Mingo and Maffa are the biggest mystery to me. We will know more next year. Yep. Ryan R., I don't understand it. Now, if you listen to Brian Schottenheimer, he brought up Mingo about 3 weeks ago, and he said because Ryan Flournoy has been playing so well, he said Mingo hasn't been able to get on the field. Michio, I'm telling you, bro, I'm agreeing with you. Bro, Dak said that with his chest, bro. We will see y'all in the NFC Championship game. Boy, I'm telling you, if this happens, bro, if this happens, I'm going back to that, man. I am definitely going back to that, Michio. I'm glad you reminded me. Make sure you remind me, too, when this actually happens. All right. Let's see what the score, what I have. Oh, let me do special teams. Then I'm going to give you all the score that I think it's going to be. Also, special teams. Brandon Aubrey, extra points only again. Kickoff field position. I want to see some big plays from Turpin in the kicking game. Turpin is out there skipping, man. Turpin is so focused on getting on the field at that third wide receiver spot. He just don't seem to be playing that kickoff return the way that he used to. I would love to see some more big plays from Clark and company. I really, really would. I really, really would. Boy, I love what you're saying, Uncle Charles. Boy, you right. We got Alabama Crimson Tide players all over the field. Yes, sir. And Uncle Charles, let me tell you something. That Michigan stint we had with Brian Schottenheimer was a debacle. I don't know what was going on with these Michigan players with Schoonmaker and the guy, the defensive tackle that we got out of here, Mozzie Smith. I mean, I don't know what was going on with that. I just don't know what was going on with that. Has anybody heard anything about Mozzie? I'm about to go check that out. I hope he's having some success where he is. Yeah, Big Chuck, I'm with you. No fumbles, no interceptions either. I'm with you. All right. These are my thoughts before I give you the score. Dak Prescott is going to be phenomenal next Thursday. I mean, Dak Prescott is going to be phenomenal this Thursday. Dak Prescott is going to be phenomenal. I absolutely believe Dak Prescott is going to rise to the occasion. I think Dak Prescott is going to have an incredible game. I think the Cowboys defense will have Goff running for his life. If the Green Bay Packers had this man running for his life, the Cowboys are going to have this man running for his life. Absolutely running for his life. I will be shocked if the Cowboys don't get multiple sacks. I'm calling at least 4. I'm calling at least 4. I'm calling 4 sacks for the Cowboys. John Sweeter said, man, stop building up the suspense. John Sweeter said, stop building up the suspense, man. Give me the score. John Sweeter said, give me the score, man. Hold on, John Sweeter. I got to build up the suspense, man. Hold on. Freddie Morales, he said, hey, G, how much you want to bet that Blue gets traded in the offseason for a second or third round pick? Man, I tell you what, I'm not going to be mad if he does. If they could get a second or third round pick, oh, man, I'm not going to be mad. Because I do think the Cowboys are probably going to go in the draft next year and try to get them a big time back. Boy, I'd love for the Cowboys to get that guy from Notre Dame. I just don't think they're going to be able to get him. The Cowboys have basically played themselves out of the guy from Notre Dame. They played themselves out of the safety from Ohio State. I mean, the Cowboys are playing their way out of a lot of the players that people were talking about when they thought we were going to have a bad season. I think the Cowboys defense will stop the run. Good googly muggly. Shakira said they're going to have 9 sacks. I think the Cowboys defense will stop the run on the Detroit Lions. I think Pickens and Lamb is going to eat, and the NFL world is going to treat this game like a playoff game. It's going to be incredible. Mose Logan, that GP3 jersey is up this week. Whoever gets the exact score is getting that GP3 jersey. Getting that GP3 jersey. No doubt about it. They are getting that GP3 jersey. And we got 3 jerseys we got to give away this year. Got to give away that GP3 jersey. Okay, that is George Pickens. Got to give away that George Pickens jersey. Gotta give away that DeMarion Overshown jersey. Gotta give away that Quinnen Williams jersey. We got 3 jerseys to give away, y'all. 3 jerseys we got to give away. All right, John Sweeter, you ready for the score? I believe the score this week is going to be the Cowboys 34, the Lions 20. The Cowboys 34, the Lions 20. That's where I am, John Sweeter. I believe the Cowboys are winning this game 34-20. Uh-oh, Poopa D said he wants more merch. Poopa D has already got a whole Cowboy suit out of me. Poopa D said now he need that Overshown or Williams jersey. I ain't mad at you, Poopa D. Get it. All right, let me put this email address in there again. Let me put this email address in there again. The email address is in the chat. Let's Talk Cowboys GBJ@gmail.com. If you want to be if you want to be in the running for that George Pickens jersey, send that score. Send that score to the email address you see up there in the chat. Send that to that email address. And you are going to be in the running for that Dallas, for that George Pickens jersey. And again, we got 2 more to give away. 2 more to give away. We are going to give away them jerseys. I am determined to give away those jerseys. And I'm going to be giving away some other Dallas Cowboy merch in between. No raffles needed. No raffles needed. I appreciate y'all's support. Couldn't be where I am without y'all. Appreciate y'all's support. There will be no raffles needed for those jerseys and that Dallas Cowboy merch. All right. So that's what I believe the score is going to be. If the Cowboys do all the keys to the game, or most of the keys to the game, I believe the Cowboys are going to beat the Lions 34-20. I think it might be a little close in the first half. I think the Cowboys pull away in the second half. If things go bad, y'all know I always give 2 scores. If the Cowboys don't do what they're supposed to do, ton of penalties, turnovers, the like, I think it'll still be close. But the Cowboys will lose the game 24-27. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we are watching something incredible. The Cowboys are going on a run that is going to blow our minds. Brandon Cup, he said Agent 00 jersey is crucial. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm giving that thing away for sure. Giving that jersey away. Bass said, hey, man, I don't think Trey Lance is starting. I think Herbert starts because he had surgery on his non-throwing hand, and he himself said he's playing. I think Eagles lose that too. Bass, let me tell you something. Don't sleep on Trey Lance. Bass, don't sleep on Trey Lance. Lance played for the Chargers. I still think they beat the Eagles. Shoot. Man, Lance looked a lot. Boy, he looked a lot better with them boys. I mean, he looked a lot better with them. He looks a lot better with them, man. For sure. He looks a lot better with them. A lot better with them. So, man, I think they can beat him even with Trey Lance. Lock and D, book it. I agree with you. I think the Eagles are collapsing. I really do. I think the Eagles are collapsing. Bro, they out here throwing eggs at the offensive coordinator. Shannon Sharp was talking about it today. Talk about the offensive coordinator. Talk about the OC. Talk about the OC, man. Might need to get bodyguards, bro. Might need to get bodyguards. Golly, that's crazy. Brady Cup, he said he need that jersey. All right. Well, make sure you send that score to that email. Rich Lloyd in the crib. Rich Lloyd, what's going on? Rich Lloyd said Shotty's first 15 has been under par. Are you talking about his first 15 plays? Yeah, he gets warmed up as the game goes. You know, but yeah, his starting, the way he starts these games, they've been kind of slow. He can't keep doing it every week. The Cowboys got to figure out a way to put teams, to get up on teams and put them under pressure. Baz, you don't think the Lance can do it? Man, Lance gonna shock you. Lance gonna shock you. Boy, man, let me tell y'all something. If you don't think things are lining up for the Cowboys in ways that is crazy, I told y'all before, there are 3 things that you need to win Super Bowls. You need health, you need skill, and you need luck. You absolutely need luck. Go look at these teams that have championship runs. It'll blow your mind. You'll see 4 or 5 games where very important players had injuries on the teams they played that helped them get to where they got. Justin Herbert being hurt against, watch what I tell you. Anytime you start playing games hurt. Anybody see Aaron Rodgers last night? Anybody see Aaron Rodgers? Was it last night? Aaron Rodgers playing with bones, hurt in his wrist, not his throwing hand. What wound up happening to Aaron Rodgers? The problem is when you play with a hurt or broke wrist, you cannot stop from, it all depends on the tackle. And just when you think you can, oh, I'm going to fall the right way, I'm not going to hurt my wrist, somebody going to hit you and make you fall right on that doggone wrist. You book it. You book it. I'm telling you, man, the Cowboys, they're not only playing well, the Cowboys are getting some breaks, man. They are getting breaks. If you don't think Amon-Ra St. Brown is a break, sure, I don't know what you call it. Man, you need those things. You need those things happening in championship runs. It's not that you don't want to beat a team at their best, because you do. But I'll tell you this. Did anybody feel sorry for us? Anybody feel sorry for us when we were injured? Anybody feel sorry for the Detroit Lions when the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders capitalized off of them being injured? Anybody feel sorry for the Detroit Lions? Nope. It's a part of the game. And I always tell my wife, it is a battle of attrition. The NFL is a battle of attrition. The teams that are typically the healthiest down the stretch, they are the teams that win. Man, you need breaks in this thing. Rich Lloyd said the Eagles had breaks last year. Rich Lloyd, people do not understand this phenomenon that I'm talking about. Go look at championship teams. You'll be shocked at some of the breaks they got in those runs. Major players not playing. You don't think it helped the Washington Commanders last year that Aiden Hutchinson was not playing? I can remember like yesterday, not Dan Campbell, but Washington's coach clearly said there is a certain route that we want to take to the playoffs. There's a certain route. You know what that route was? The Detroit Lions. Dan Quinn wanted to get that seed to go through the Lions because he knew they were decimated. That's why Dan Quinn wanted to go through the Lions. Here they are again. They're not decimated. They got a major injury. And Laporta was major for him too. Hey, Christian Legal, you're exactly right. Cowboys got healthy at the right time. You want to get your injuries early. Not that you really want injuries, but if you're going to have them, you want them early. You don't want them late. They throw off playoff runs. Hey, Mose Logan, you know what? Hey, I'm going to go that route too. I tell you what, we got 4 jerseys to give away. If Dak Prescott wins the MVP, we're giving away that jersey too. Yes, sir. We're giving away that jersey too. Real estate vet said after listening to Dan Campbell talking about us yesterday, he himself is saying, how the hell are we going to stop these guys when they are not healthy? He said you can hear it in his voice. Hey, real estate. Let me tell you something. Dan Campbell told me everything I needed to know when it tried to get a center, an old center that's retired, bro. They tried to get this man out of retirement for the Cowboys. What does that tell you? Boy, they know. They know this Cowboys defensive line is different, bro. They know this Cowboys defensive line is different. They absolutely know it. They know it. They know it, and Dan Quinn knows it's inevitable, man. It's inevitable. You can only hang in with this Cowboys team for so long, man. If you can't score point for point, and Amon-Ra St. Brown hurts the Detroit Lions, I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him. Nobody felt sorry for us. Nobody felt sorry for the Detroit Lions last year. Nobody's feeling sorry when teams are hurt. And when you look back on history, nobody goes back and say, hey, you know why the Washington Commanders got to the NFC Championship game? Because the Detroit Lions defense was decimated. No. You know what they say? Yeah, they beat the Detroit Lions. That's all they say. That's all they say. Nobody cares about anything else. Shoot, man, you need breaks in this league. You need breaks in this league. Ask Tom Brady about the tuck rule. Ask Tom Brady. Even Tom Brady will admit it was a fumble now. Shoot. Man, the New England Patriots got so many breaks doing them Super Bowl runs. Kansas City got so many breaks doing them Super Bowl runs, man. Boy, you need breaks, man. All right, man. All right. We finished reading these comments, then we're going to get up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with me today, man. We're going to be back tomorrow. Oh! Cowboys are playing Thursday night. Doomsday Cowboy, he said, hey, man, he said, G, St. Brown missing is a big blow for the Lions. It is. He said, I just don't think you're beating the Cowboys running the ball alone. You're not. They might get a couple of big runs on us, but they're not going to be able to do it consistently. I agree. They're not. Ice Cold Cowboy said Washington's seasons is laughable after what they accomplished last season. It is a letdown, bro. It's a letdown. Real estate vet said they never feel sorry. I know it's what you're talking about. Michi Yo, put that in that email address. Michi Yo, he also saying the same score I'm saying. He's saying 34-20. Ryan R. As Cowboy fans, we are told injuries are part of the game with no sympathy or pity. Just next man up. They don't have the same energy when their players are hurt. Facts. Facts. John Schweeder, he said Dan will be grinning. Boy, that boy Dan gonna be in for it, boy. Brady Cup said, G, if Pickens gets season MVP, can I get his jersey, please? You know what? I'll give it to you if he gets he get the MVP, but I don't think he's gonna get the MVP. That's going to Dak Prescott. But if he gets that, oh yeah, I'll get that for you. No doubt about it. I got you. Christian Legal said, what will Stephen A say after we beat the Lions? Christian Legal, Stephen A. Smith is already saying the Cowboys are gonna beat Detroit. He's already saying the Cowboys are gonna beat Detroit. Lock and D, he said after the bye week, the Cowboys got healthy at the right time. Yeah. John Sweeter, he said, I appreciate you, Mr. G. Appreciate you too, John Sweeter. Yamar said the Pats got it. Boy, Yamar, boy, the Pats got the easy schedule, but man, New England Patriots gonna get wiped out of the playoffs. Man, they will, I guarantee you they get wiped out of the playoffs. New England Patriots have got to have the easiest schedule ever, man. Ice cold. We don't play on Sundays no more. Yeah. They giving Cowboys them big time games, man. And it's so crazy. Hold on a second. Don't it seem like the NFL? I said this when I talked about the Cowboys schedule. Y'all don't think this stuff is all strange? We're going to see Michio if the Cowboys meet the Rams in the NFC Championship game. But isn't it strange also? The NFL gave the Cowboys all of these primetime games at the end of the season, right? Let's look at this real quick, and then I am going to get out of here. I'm a preacher. I'm on my third close. When the preacher say he closing the first time, don't close your Bible because he ain't closing. Preacher at least he got to get at least 3 closes, then he closing. But when you think about the Cowboys schedule, I said this when we first looked at this schedule. Y'all tell me this isn't insane when you think about this Cowboys schedule. So when you look at the Cowboys schedule here, as the Cowboys got ready to run the toughest part of their schedule, isn't it strange the times they have the Cowboys playing? They have the Cowboys playing in some of the biggest time slots in the NFL, especially towards the end. And isn't it strange? Right on cue, and I don't know if it's right on cue. I'm just playing X-Files. I'm playing conspiracy theory tonight. But isn't it strange how all of these games, they're at these major times, and the Cowboys are on this winning streak, and how these games are getting these ratings? Cowboys, game of the week against the Philadelphia Eagles. Come back, play on a Thursday night. Roll back around, play again on a Thursday night. Coming back off a Thursday night, playing on a Sunday night. Come back around, playing on December 21st, which that is a noon game, but then they come right back around and they're playing on Christmas Day at noon. And then the last game of the season, January 4th, to be determined, could literally be the game that determines the Cowboys going to the playoffs. So how insane is it? After the bye week, they give the Cowboys all these big-time games. The Cowboys make these big-time trade acquisitions. They get these players back. They get healthy, and the Cowboys may absolutely cash in for the NFL on every last one of these games, because the Cowboys could literally go undefeated in all of these primetime games. When we first saw this schedule, we were like, man, Cowboys, there were people who were saying, man, the Cowboys going to go 5-12. They're not winning them playoffs. They're not winning any of these gauntlet games. We thought the Raiders were going to be tough when they got Genty and Geno. People said the Raiders were going to beat the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Lions. They said all these teams were going to beat the Cowboys. Even the Vikings coming off the season they had last year. Even the Chargers. Even the Commanders, because of the Commanders and how they played. Do y'all realize most people had us losing every last one of these big-time primetime games, and people were complaining, why did they give the Cowboys all those primetime games? Only for the Cowboys now to have the possibility of winning all of them. I'm just telling you, Michio, you can't make it. Michio, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. I said this early on. I said, man, it seemed like the NFL knows something. I'm just telling you. However it turns out, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. I'm out of here this time. I love it. Cowboys gotta go take care of business, man. Cowboys gotta go take care of business. I'm telling you right now. Cowboys win this game Thursday. The NFL is going to lose its mind. Appreciate y'all rocking with me, man, on this Tuesday night. Best chat on YouTube. Man, I'm going to see y'all on videos. I'll be doing some videos tonight, and I will be seeing y'all again tomorrow on Dallas Cowboy Eve. Big game coming up on Thursday. I'm excited. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thursday pregame show, Thursday postgame show. We're going to be rocking Cowboys for the next 3 days. Until the next time, TC4L, God bless. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.